Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Wisconsin.
We welcome you from St. Louis, Missouri, the gateway to the West, the famous Arch. And not too far from there, we're at Busch Stadium, the third version of Busch Stadium. It's the Cardinals and the Brewers. It is game 2 of this Showdown 3-game series. Big win last night for the Brew Crew, their 90th win of the year. They are now 2 back of the Cubs in the loss column, game and a half overall. And in the wild card race, the Brewers are 3 up on the Cardinals, 3.5 up on the Rockies. Magic number of 3 against St. Louis and Colorado for a playoff berth. And hi, everybody. With that, we welcome you from beautiful Busch Stadium here in St. Louis. Great to have you with us. We got a good night for baseball. Brian Anderson here with Bill Schroeder. We'll check in with Sophia Menard in just a moment. Well, the Brewers had the opener last night. Actually, the outgetter, the initial outgetter, and Dan Jennings. Much more traditional tonight with Gio Gonzalez. He's hoping to pitch well. He's hoping to pitch deep into this game. Gio Gonzalez has found something, though, with the Brewers, Rock.
Yeah, he's been real good. His changeup has been very good. He has been throughout his career very good against the Cardinals. He's made 9 starts against St. Louis, and he has an earned run average under 3. But the one thing I like about Gio, his last couple of starts, he's been able to pitch deep into games. He has the 2 longest starts for the Brewers in quite some time. 6 innings his last time out. It's going to be a tough lineup for him against these St. Louis Cardinals. A lot of right-handed bats, so it's going to be important for Gio. Get that changeup down the strike zone, elevate the fastball, continue to do what he's been doing as a Brewer.
Former All-Star, former 21-game winner in the major leagues, and back in a pennant race where he has been with the Washington Nationals the last few years. His career against the Cardinals, pretty good numbers across the board, a sub-3 earned run average. And he will match up against Austin Gomber. 10 starts this year. He is a big part of the Cardinals' future. They like what they see out of this left-hander, and he gets the ball against Milwaukee tonight. Marching our way to first pitch here in St. Louis. The outgetters. We know who's going to start the game. How about who's going to finish? We'll check in with Sophia when we continue as we make our way to first pitch.
On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Getting ready for game 2 of this 3-game series, this NL Central rivalry series between the Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. This should be a great matchup. And looking back at last night, a long rainy night in St. Louis, a come-from-behind victory thanks to Corey Knebel, who last night closed out the game. 1 inning, 3 strikeouts in the inning on 21 pitches, picked up the save, his 16th of the season. An all-star closer from a year ago, and Corey Knebel looked like an all-star last night against that Cardinals lineup. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Busch Stadium, and the Brewers bullpen was the story at the start of last night's game, as they used Dan Jennings to start the game and would use 9 relievers overall. But at the end of the game, the story was indeed Corey Knebel coming in for the 9th because Jeremy Jeffress was unavailable due to neck spasms that had come up earlier in the day. So there was not JJ available out of the bullpen last night, but the Brewers bullpen did just fine without him thanks to Corey Knebel's strong work in the 9th, and they used 9 relievers to finish the game last night. You see the usage there. They brought in Dan Jennings to face the lefty leadoff hitter Matt Carpenter. Freddie Peralta covered 3 2/3 innings, and then a number of relievers used the rest of the way, ending with Corey Knebel in the 9th. So we get reaction from manager Craig Counsell, an update on Jeremy Jeffress' status, much better here today, and also the usage and effectiveness of that bullpen last night.
He's feeling a lot better today. You know, he's optimistic. We'll let him play catch and get through that everything before we make a decision. The guys didn't pitch certainly very extended outings yesterday. I mean, I think Corey's a guy we got to be a little bit careful with right now. Corbin Burns has pitched, you know, quite a bit in this run here too, a little bit. So, and he had a rough night last night, kind of getting loose, and then he had to sit down, and then he had to get loose again. So, but everybody else, you know, should be in good shape.
A pair of MVP candidates on display here at Busch Stadium. We'll be taking a look at the seasons of Christian Yelich and Matt Carpenter for the Cardinals when we come back here, getting ready closer to first pitch here at Busch Stadium.
MVP candidate.
Yelich into center field, hit well.
Christian Yelich has a nice swing going.
Matt Carpenter is going to send one out.
Grand slam for Christian Yelich. Matt Carpenter walks it off.
And the Brewers win!
Well, taking a look at a pair of National League MVP candidates for last night, Christian Yelich went 1 for 4, a double, 2 RBIs. He's closing in on 100 now in the season with 98. And for Matt Carpenter, last night went 1 for 4, a double, and an RBI for him. A terrific second half of the season as well for Carpenter. So a look at the National League MVP candidates. You see Yelich and Carpenter leading the way for their respective teams. For the Cubs, of course, it's a Javi Baez, a 292 average, 34 home runs, 110 RBIs on the season. Nolan Arenado trying to help the Rockies get into the postseason. Terrific numbers as well with 34 home runs. Paul Goldschmidt and the Arizona Diamondbacks have been eliminated from the postseason, but a great season by Goldschmidt as well. So it's been fun to watch these National League MVP candidates and these postseason pushes. We'll continue that here tonight, the MVP watch between Christian Yelich and Matt Carpenter. We'll take a look at the lineups and get ready for first pitch here at Busch Stadium. Game 2 coming up.
It is time to play ball in St. Louis, Missouri tonight. Second game of this series, Brewers Cardinals. Brewers a game and a half back of the Cubs. The Cubs have the Pittsburgh Pirates at Wrigley Field tonight. That game is just underway. We'll be keeping an eye on that one all night long. And the Brewers with a magic number of 3 over the Cardinals and the Rockies. You clip one of those, you guarantee a playoff spot. And of course, guarantee home field advantage for the wild card game. Brewers have the division title still in their sights. 83-degree night here in St. Louis, and expecting decent weather. I don't think there's any rain in the forecast, but you never know in the Midwest this time of year. And let's check that Potawatomi batting order as the Brewers are ready to go here in the top of the first. Lorenzo Cain leads off, then Christian Yelich. Jesus Aguilar hitting third. In the middle, it's Braun, Perez, and Moustakas. Perez gets to start at short tonight. Scope, Pena, and Gonzalez round out the starting 9 for Milwaukee. That's the lineup that will face left-hander Austin Gomber, the 24-year-old from the Orlando area. His 11th start as a Cardinal after starting in the bullpen.
Yeah, this guy's been pretty good. He's 5-1 in 10 starts. His first start came back on July 24th. Got to win his last time out at Atlanta, 5 innings. 6 hits, only 1 run. Good numbers for Gomber.
Moved to the rotation in late July. And a hard-throwing left-hander. It's the inside corner. Kane quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. Now the Brewers won a thriller last night. You saw some of those images just before we hit the air tonight. What a win it was for Milwaukee. And Kane is down on strikes. Hits Molina with the bat. Secures the out at first, and it's 1 away, and that's how the night begins for the left-hander for St. Louis.
Yeah, Gomber, fastball, curveball. He came up with a cutter just about the same time he was getting ready to get into that starting rotation. It's been a difference maker. He's been tremendous. Yeah, 59 strikeouts, 69 and a third innings. Not a huge strikeout guy, but he's a strike thrower.
Cardinals have very good young pitchers, starting pitchers, all surfacing in the big leagues that they feel will round out their rotation next year as well. They've moved one of their best starters, their opening day starter, into the bullpen. Carlos Martinez is their closer now. A lot of focus on the pitchers the last couple of days. Brewers are more traditional tonight with Gonzalez as Yelich bounces to second. 2 men are gone here in the first inning. Colton Wong making his first start. He's been hampered by a hamstring injury. He gets a start. He's a left-handed hitter and gets a start against a left-handed starting pitcher. 2 men are out. Here is Jesus Aguilar now. Aguilar tied with Nolan Arenado for second in the National League in RBIs. 104 ribbies. The 33 home runs for Aguilar is tied for 5th. Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals leads away with 36. Got a lot of firepower in these 2 offenses. And you see a lot of the names scattered throughout the leaderboard. A couple of MVP candidates in Christian Yelich and Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, Christian Yelich came up big in last night's game. Big double to score a run.
That's deep into right field. That is way back. Martinez is back, and goodbye. Jesus Aguilar, number 34. An opposite field smash. And the Brewers have a 1-0 lead in the first inning.
You love to see that out of Aguilar, going to the opposite field. When he's going right, that's where a lot of his home runs go. Out into right center. Weighted back nicely on that pitch. He's had a tendency to be getting out in front a little bit, rolling over on some of those pitches. Yeah, but waits back this time, knocks it out of here. There it is, perfect. That's the way to do it for Aguilar. Waits back, nice easy swing, and knocks it out of here into right field.
Powerball home run number 34 for Aguilar. 105 RBIs now as Ryan Braun takes strike 1.
That's exactly what you want to do. You want to get on top early, get the Cardinals on their heels a little bit. Good start.
Ryan Braun hit a booming home run yesterday. That was in the 2nd inning. Hit number 16 of the season last night. Aguilar sets the pace here today. And Braun sends that one deep to left field. That's way back, and kiss that one goodbye. Back-to-back home runs, Aguilar and Braun. Number 17 for Ryan Braun. It is 2-0 Milwaukee.
Well, Austin Gomber had only given up 4 home runs in his first 10 starts. Actually, his first 27 appearances, 2 already tonight. And both of them hit pretty hard.
A frozen rope off the bat of Ryan Braun.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty good. He was talking about that before yesterday's game. He says, I feel great. He says, energized by this postseason push. Gets up in the morning, can't wait to get to the ballpark. Well, he's proven it.
He's been a big game player his whole career. When he's had his opportunities in the playoffs, he has been A+. And he's starting to feel it right now. Braun taking the long route all year long, random days off, make sure he gets rest. He knows he's not going to stack up the cumulative numbers, but he wanted to be at his best this time of year. Hey, nice play by Gomber. Wow. Might have taken a hit away from Perez. So the inning is over, but the Brewers go back to back. Jesus Aguilar and Ryan Braun quiet him down here early. Opposite field smash by Aguilar. A pull home run by Braun. 2-0 Brew Crew just underway in St. Louis. Aguilar and Braun have them on the scoreboard quickly tonight. Now the Cardinals are coming up against left-hander Gio Gonzalez. Mike Schilt, the new manager of the Cardinals, his Potawatomi batting order with Matt Carpenter, Jose Martinez, Paul DeYoung at the top. That's the same from yesterday. The middle is the same as well. Ozuna, Jerko, and Molina. Bader hits 7th with Colton Wong, the only new addition to the lineup. And tonight's pitcher, Austin Gomber, rounds it out. Gio Gonzalez ready to go. He'll have a 2-0 lead with which to work. And the first pitch fouled away on a bunt attempt by Carpenter.
Man, Gio's been pretty good, making his 4th start as a Brewer, 165 earned run average. Picked up a win his last time out at home against Cincinnati. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs for Gio. Had a really good changeup in that start.
This is a right-handed dominant lineup past Matt Carpenter. They've got a lot of power with their right-handed hitters. Can be difficult on a lefty. But Gio Gonzalez has put together good numbers in his career against St. Louis. All of his starts coming as a Washington National. 9 starts, 2.97 ERA. But he lost right here in St. Louis on August 14th to the Cardinals. There's a swing and a miss. Carpenter strikes out for out number 1. That game in August, he lasted just 4 innings. Gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, and walked 3. Seems like and looks like a much different pitcher in his first 3 starts as a Brewer than he did in his starts as a Washington National this year in the final year of his contract.
Yeah, the walks are down here as a Brewer. You know, 3 starts, he's walked 7 batters. 4 of those coming in 1 start.
Jose Martinez hitting number 2 in this Cardinal lineup once again. Martinez homered last night off a left-hander, Josh Hader. And he chased one. High fastball.
And nice battle in the game, Martinez and Corey Knebel last night.
9-pitch at bat. Knebel just kept throwing fastball after fastball until finally threw him a hook to end the game on a strikeout, a called strike 3. When you go through a game like last night and Josh Hader, who rarely gives up runs, gives up 2 home runs and 3 runs and you're able to cover that and win the game, that is a bonus victory for the Brewers. And I'm sure the Cardinals kicking themselves last night, knowing they had Milwaukee on the ropes. Brewers had that lead in the middle of the game with their dominant bullpen lined up, and yet the Cardinals were able to get to Hader and flip the script a little bit, only to give it right back, and some shoddy defensive work last night as well.
Yeah, the Cardinals gift wrapped a run for the Brewers in the 8th inning. Brewers got another run in the 9th. Cruz scored runs in each of the last 4 innings last night, so able to get the job done late.
Martinez was involved in a big misplay. Eric Thames had sent one out to right center, and either could have been caught, certainly should have been held to a single, ended up being a triple. And that's how the Brewers scored the go-ahead run. Gonzalez walks Martinez. And the first blemish of the game. It's a man on with one away, and Paul DeYoung coming up.
Yeah, check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. We're talking about Gio Gonzalez here with a changeup. Got to be down in the zone. That sets up the high fastball for Gio. Good combination for him. And as far as Gomberg goes, he came up with that cutter. A new pitch for him. He learned it this year down in the bullpen. And we'll see how effective that is against this Brewers lineup tonight.
Runner on. Here is DeYoung, power hitting shortstop of the Cardinals. Home plate umpire tonight is Will Little, calling the balls and strikes. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, is at first base tonight. He'll be the man to watch for if there is a challenge. Mark Carlson, Lance Barksdale join him on the bases. And a fly ball into center field, routine for Lorenzo Cain for out number 2. He got in on his hands.
Yeah, good location on the fastball. Gio able to jam him on a pitch on the corner. You still jam hitters even throwing 91, 92 when they're looking for that off-speed stuff.
Gonzalez with 18 strikeouts, 7 walks in his time as a Brewer in his 3 starts. His command's been a lot better. 16 in the 3rd innings coming into play tonight. Only the 3 earned runs allowed. Facing Marcell Ozuna with 2 away and a runner at first. Ozuna hit a line shot missile for a home run off Josh Hader last night. One of the hardest hit balls we've seen off Josh Hader, and one of the hardest hit balls of the year.
Yeah. And Josh just didn't have as good command. A lot of pitches down the middle, down in the zone, and Cardinals took advantage of it.
1 ball, no strikes. And Ozuna lines one to center field. He is red hot at the plate right now. That is a dangerous bat the Brewers will deal with the rest of this series.
Yeah, having a good month. Cardinals need him, and he's been producing.
Then a shoulder injury, he's been nursing all year. Finally got a cortisone shot in that right shoulder. It's almost like he's swinging in a straitjacket. Everything's tight, the hands are low, but he is generating some serious bat speed.
Yep, especially with pitches away from him or down. You know, the pitch that he hit out on Hader was down in the strike zone and right down the heart of the plate.
That's an 8-game hitting streak for Ozuna versus the Brewers, including a couple of home runs. And 2 on now, first inning for Jed Jerko. Brewers get 2 in the top of the first. Back-to-back home runs, Aguilar and Braun. Gonzalez trying to shut the Cardinals down in this bottom of the first.
And Gio looking for his first win ever at Busch Stadium. His numbers have been pretty good. Earned run average, 9 starts, 0-3 here at Busch.
His starts for the Brewers have come against the Giants, the Pirates, and the Reds, all at home. Went 6 shutout against Cincinnati his last time out. That was on the 19th of September on that last homestand. And I don't know what happened here. Home plate umpire, did he grant time? I think Gonzalez stopped, and there was some balk calls going on, but that was a strange looking play. That was a late request of timeout. Reset it here. No balls and a strike on Jerko.
Now you're best off just throwing it, kind of lobbing it in there. When you try and stop like that, a lot of times you can tweak something, maybe a leg muscle, arm, on those late calls, timeout calls.
Two on for St. Louis, an 0-2 count on Jerko. Gio looks at the runners. Long pause, and a curveball got him. Just that slow sweeping curveball. It's a change of pace pitch for him. 77 miles an hour. Cardinals come up empty at the bottom of the first.
Final regular season series at Miller Park this Friday evening. It's also the last 5-county Friday of the year, and all 5-county residents can get half-price tickets for the series opener. To lock in your discounted seats, go to Brewers.com.
Well, Brewers are inching their way toward a potential postseason. That Tigers series will be an important one. Interleague baseball to finish up the regular season at Miller Park. Hope you make plans to come see us. Fan Appreciation Weekend. Mike Moustakas will lead the way for Milwaukee. 2-0 Brewers. Back-to-back homers by Aguilar and Braun in the first. Both coming with 2 outs.
Yep, Tigers 30 games under 500. Doesn't mean it's not going to be a tough series. When you're trying to get into the playoffs and you just have to win, it's always a tough series.
Yeah, when you're tense and they're not, that's what levels the playing field a little bit. Tigers certainly will be free and easy in that final series of the year. As a called strike 3, Gomber rings the bell on Mike Moustakas and his second strikeout.
Early in the season, he was having a difficult time retiring left-handed batters. Basically had the fastball, curveball, but then he came up with that cutter, and his success against lefties has been much better. On a batting average against lefties over 300, but it was up around 370 before he was put into the starting rotation.
Jonathan Scope following Moustakas in the batting order, hitting 7th. Brewers change up their infield a little bit tonight. Instead of Arcia Shaw up the middle, Shaw sits with the left-hander on the mound. Moustakas is the lefty who gets the start. And it is Perez and Scope, a couple of right-handed bats. The Brewers are extremely versatile in that regard. They have a ton of players who can play multiple positions and play those positions well. Even Jonathan Scope has played games, started games at the shortstop position. But I think tonight, Counsell with Gio Gonzalez on the mound, he does get some pulled ground balls. And I think he'd rather have a traditional shortstop there. And even though Hernan Perez is a super utility man at this point of his career, he is an excellent shortstop. Came up as a shortstop in the Tigers system, as a matter of fact. There's a little jam shot bouncer to Colton Wong. Out number 2 for Gomber.
Yeah, it says a lot about what Craig Counsell thinks about the abilities of Hernan Perez to put him in a game like this. You figure the right side of the left side of the infield is going to be busy with a lot of left-handed bats in the lineup, and that Gio Gonzalez changeup.
So Manny Pena now with 2 away. Chatting it up with Yadier Molina. Molina keeps on trucking, doesn't he? I mean, this guy, he doesn't move around like he used to. He doesn't block as many pitches as he used to. The arm is a touch less than it used to be, but he is still a dynamic force, and he carries so much presence behind the plate. And every catcher who goes up there, even from the opposition, showing a lot of respect for Molina.
Yeah, it's like having a pitching coach on the field. He knows his pitchers well. He's done a good job navigating the season with his young pitching staff. He's had some leg problems this year, getting up there in age. He's got 2 more years on his deal.
Pena takes a strike. Cardinals carrying 3 catchers right now. Francisco Pena is the 3rd catcher, and Carson Kelly is the number 2. A swing and a miss, and Pena down on strikes. 1-2-3 inning for Gomber. Couple of Ks in the second. He's got 3 for the game now. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Warm, humid night here in St. Louis. Getting to the end of the schedule. The Brewers, the 2nd National League team to get to 90 wins. a team that lost 94 games in Craig Counsell's first year as manager. 2015, they've been on the steady climb at 90-67. Brewers with a chance to win the division still, just 2 back of the Cubs in the loss column starting play today. 5 games left for Milwaukee, 6 for the Cubs. Gio Gonzalez back to work. He'll face Yadier Molina to start the inning, and first pitch is away for ball 1. Molina, Harrison Bader, and Colton Wong coming up for St. Louis. If anybody reaches, the pitcher will bat. Austin Gomber, who's a pretty good hitting pitcher, by the way. Molina pops this one up. That's going to slice foul, and that'll fall in no man's land. Ton of foul territory down the lines here. Molina putting up gaudy numbers. Got 19 home runs, 71 RBIs this year. Just when you think he might be coming to the end, he continues to perform. Been a great player. 1-2 pitch, way outside and high. Molina now in his age 35 season. He's been an all-star the last 2 years. Had a run of 9 in a row. Or excuse me, 7 in a row. He's made 9 all-star teams, 7 in a row from 2009 to 2015.
And a big reason why the Cardinals have always had one of the better pitching staffs, particularly starting rotations in all of baseball, year after year, because of what Molina does behind home plate.
And he brings a little punch to the party too. He is trending toward a potential career high in home runs. He is 3 shy of a career best. That was when he was in his prime. In his late 20s, hit 22 homers. Rolls over that one. Nice big hop for Moustakas. He'll have plenty of time with Molina running. And there is out number 1.
Pretty good curveball that Gio is featuring here tonight. Got a strikeout to Jed Jerko on the curveball and got Molina roll over on that one. That's a good pitch.
Let's check in with Sophia Minard. She's got more on Gio Gonzalez making his 4th start for the Brewers tonight.
That's right, and in those first 3 starts, he and catcher Manny Pena have really developed a good working relationship. I was talking to Pena earlier today, and he said even from the first start with Gio against the San Francisco Giants, he said they just right away established a really good connection. He said he felt really comfortable. He felt like he had been catching him for a long time, and about that last start against the Reds, it was 6 shutout for Gonzalez. He said the fastball up and in was really effective for him, and using the changeup when behind, using the curveball for strikes early. He feels like using the tempo, the quicker tempo with Gio. He feels like when Gonzalez slows down, that's when he really starts to overthink things and think too much. So Pena's done a good job of trying to keep him on track, of keeping him in a good pace so that he can get those strikes and be so effective like he was against the Reds.
Yeah, let Manny do the thinking. You just execute your pitches. That's the idea. And when you have a relationship with a catcher like that, that's what you can do. Uncertainty. That's why pitchers kind of slow down a little bit. And Manny's done a good job preparing for starts all season long, and he's doing a good job with Gio.
Well, Gonzalez has long been known as one of the slowest workers, had the funereal pace, and it was tough to play behind him, and he realized that. It's not that he's trying to pitch slow, but the way his mind is processing the information, and you can still see it in some of his habits, like going to the back of the mound every time. But I think more and more in his starts with the Brewers, remember he had a 9-day shutdown between starts before his first one. He's starting to realize I've got to quicken this pace, and you see himself catching that factor. That is going to be caught by Yelich in foul territory. Nice play by Yelich with a couple of big bodies crashing in on him. I mean, between Scope and Aguilar, Yelich is lucky he's not in the 3rd row right now.
I'll tell you what, Scope went a long way to get out there and get close to that pop-up. Look where he's starting out. Jonathan Scope. Now the ball's up in the air, and he is on his horse heading toward that area in foul ground and able to peel off and avoid Yelich. That's covering a lot of ground for all three of those guys, actually. Yelich able to make the catch.
He's got great speed. He is a Gold Glove outfielder, and he makes a nice play for out number 2, retiring Bader. Here is Colton Wong, who shows bunt, pushes it to Scope. Scope bare hands, throw to first in time. What a play that was. Wow. Jonathan Scope, the last thing he was expecting would be a bunt from Wong, who is dealing with hamstring injuries. I mean, you're not expecting him to try to drop a bunt down to leg it out. Playing deep at second. Jonathan Scope with the big meat hooks on that one. What a play. Well done. Bob Uecker when we come back from St. Louis. Cardinals as we go to the 3rd inning, and as promised, Mr. Baseball has arrived. Bob Uecker.
Hello, boys.
I think it's your first appearance on Brewers television this year. You've been avoiding us.
Yes. No, I haven't been avoiding you. I've been busy.
Yeah.
As
My
Pete
guard unit
Vukovich,
got called up.
as Pete Vukovich would say, you knew our schedules.
Anything Pete Vukovich says does not make any sense to me.
It's nice to be on the road, huh?
Yeah. No,
Last road trip of the year.
Looking forward to this. Yeah.
Regular
Absolutely.
season, anyway.
Yeah, regular season. You bet.
Thanks for all the free entertainment on the bus on the way over. Or in this case, the golf cart here in St. Louis.
Exactly.
You're like the Pope Mobile coming over to this ballpark. It's got the surroundings.
I come into these games the same way I came in when I was playing, the back door.
Gio Gonzalez leads off for the Brew Crew as we head to the 3rd inning now, 2-0. Great to have you with us, Bob.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And you know, your ties here in St. Louis are deep as well. And man, this is quite the pennant race. This has been a blast, and you've been around for all of them, going back to the origins of the organization. Where does this one stack up with you? What jumps out in your mind?
Well, always when the club is here in St. Louis, it's always a big series for me. And you know, I had a chance to be here a couple of years, and I have ties here, a family in St. Louis. So to come back here and be at this point in the season where, you know, they got a shot at postseason play. I keep going back to the '82 season because that's what they put on the scoreboard here every time we come in here. The '82 season when the Cardinals beat the Brewers, and to take nothing away from St. Louis. But I thought at that time the Brewers had the better club, but a couple guys were down and could not participate. But St. Louis won, but they always put that up on the board each and every time we come in here. So
you think it's up there all the time, or just when we come in?
I think it's just when we come in, Rock. I do, yeah. But it was a great series, and I don't know if there's a better baseball town than St. Louis. I know Milwaukee is great, but this place is each and every day. Always jammed up.
Pack them in here. Over 3.2 million fans at this point of the season. And for historical context, I've had this conversation with a lot of people, a lot of interviews. And, you know, for a Brewer fan to have to constantly go through the Cardinals at every turn, 1982, as they started to get good in the mid-2000s, 07 they pushed, and then 08 they finally broke through. 2011, the NLCS that the Cardinals won. I mean, there is a lot more to this rivalry from a Brewers fan's perspective, wouldn't you say, just because of the Cardinals have always been the team in the way. As Lorenzo Cain collects another hit, which he does just about every night.
Yeah, the rivalry between these two clubs, and you know why it's good? Because it's an easy ride both ways for Cardinal fans and Brewer fans to come to each respective ballpark. The rivalry between the Cubs and the Brewers is good only because of its proximity to each other, but this one has got a little extra special stuff because it's baseball related. It's not related to the cities. And to come in here, and again, I keep going back to that 82 season.
Right.
Christian Yelich takes a strike.
And again, they won, and each and every time we've come in here, that 82 World Series and Gorman Thomas striking out is up there all the time. And it's part of what makes it good here in St. Louis.
Have you ever really witnessed, I mean, you've seen them all. I mean, you've seen Robin, you know, Brian Braun in his prime. I mean, the second half that Christian Yelich has put together.
I'm telling you,
unbelievable.
Rock, that guy, yeah. And, you know, the thing about Yelich that impresses me and everybody else, I guess, is his team rhetoric. He doesn't ever say anything about himself. He never does. It's always about the team.
Yeah, that night where he hit the cycle,
yeah.
Everybody was talking about that, and he wanted to talk about how great it was that Granderson actually scored on that.
Exactly.
Where he wouldn't have been credited with a triple. So thanks for Granderson. So he doesn't like talking about himself. He's one of those guys. That's one of the reasons why he's such a class act.
And a favorite among the players. He really is.
Now they talk about a speech he gave in Cincinnati. There's a little tapper to third base, and that is an out at second base. Even with the speedy Cain running, Jerko took the chance, gets the lead man on a 5-4 put out. 2 gone in the inning with Yelich reaching on a fielder's choice. Yeah, you know, Yelich has been one of those guys to come in here. He's a quiet guy. I would imagine, I never saw Joe DiMaggio play or Ted Williams, but I would imagine that the body type, and you've seen a lot of these guys when you were coming up, he's got that, I don't know, old-fashioned body type, long and lean, like what baseball players, the good ones, the power hitters used to look like. Not muscled up, but long and lean.
Marv Throneberry for me. Big and wide.
Yeah. Just like a number 10. It's a bobsled team.
But he's kind of built like Robin, right? I mean,
yeah.
You know, Robin wasn't real bulky.
And before we go any further, I don't want to, you know, lead anybody to believe I go looking around at guys' bodies. I mean, but yeah,
what about Todd
he's
Coffey?
Tight. He's tight. Todd Coffey, yes, the man's ear man.
Aguilar at the swing of this. I mean, we're not going there, are we?
No, we're not.
Okay.
That's why I'm,
you're right.
dropping that off. I mean, Krispy Kreme with a hamburger stuck in between was Todd Coffey's rhetoric every day at Miller Park during State Fair week. Yeah.
I thought we'd have a half inning of, you know, real good baseball talk, and then another couple of innings of
this
just
is
Bobby.
good baseball
yeah,
talk.
This is great. You're the best, Uke. It's good to have you here. There's a shot up the middle and a base hit for Aguilar. And the Brewers putting something together here with 2 away. Rock got 2 on, 2 outs. Aguilar's 2 for 2.
But to get a sense here, I think, you know, watching these guys, I think they're starting to put it together offensively a little bit. It was a little bit up and down, and they're starting to draw a lot of walks. I think a lot of it has to do with some of the acquisitions at the trading deadline. You know, Moustakas, Granderson has been a nice pickup getting on base.
Absolutely. You know, talking with Craig Counsell tonight and last night too about it's almost impossible not to look at the scoreboard here. It's right in front of you.
Right.
And Craig said this: if indeed you go out and you take care of your own business, you don't have to worry about what's up there. But it's impossible not to look at the scoreboard, and the players do it too.
Ryan Braun takes strike one.
That game in Chicago tonight that is yet to get underway. It should be getting underway, they say. A lot of rain in Chicago, but yeah, I mean, you can't be a player, Rock, you know that. You can't be in the clubhouse and not look at the television set each and every night and what's going on around baseball.
Yeah, they're watching the other games. When
Absolutely.
the game, before the game, after the game, they know what's going on.
Absolutely.
But I think they were able to separate it pretty well. I mean, these guys, I think these days, I mean, they have a good time out on the field, but I think they were able to separate, you know, the intensity. You know, it doesn't look as though they really get worked up over tough situations.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right there. It becomes all of a sudden, sometimes matter of fact, which is not something that you want to get used to either.
Right.
I mean, you still have a job, and you're out here. And the guys who are going to play every day, I tell you what, watching Craig last night and doing his show last night, when he talked about using Dan Jennings for one guy, and he talked about Freddie Peralta coming on, exactly the way he talked about it on his pregame show is the way he did it throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah.
When he put everybody in there, that's the way it worked out. And he did it.
Ever done a game with 9 pitchers in?
No, I'm telling you. I mean,
but it worked.
Yeah, it was great.
Brewers got a big win last night as Braun with a swing and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. Brewers strand a couple more with Bob Uecker. Great to have him with us here in the booth. Mr. Baseball as we roll on. Brewers up 2-0. Cardinals coming up. St. Louis, bottom of the third, and Bob Uecker joining us here in the booth. Appreciate you coming over here to the dark side.
Thank you, B.
Little television.
Thank you, Rock. Yeah, no, I'm.
You got yourself put together well to come over here on TV too.
Well, Lane Grindle is going to work tonight with Jeff Levering, and I thought it'd be a nice game for Lane to work, and you know, he's on the trip. He's on the trip. Why not?
I mean, what's he been doing this whole time? It's like a vacation, I guess. He's hanging out,
running for drinks for you guys.
Like announcer fantasy camp.
Yeah, announcer fantasy camp.
How are the young bucks doing over there?
Yeah, they're doing good, man.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Levering made the comment on his opening that I was going to let the kids work tonight. So.
We are right next door. This is a good scene right here because one of my favorite moments, you're going to remember this as soon as I bring it up. One of the moments that I remember more than anything is we were here in St. Louis, and Corey Provis was your partner back then.
Yeah.
You see how close we are, folks. So we're right here. And it's the last game of the year. Here's Gomber, and that's right to Lorenzo Cain for the out. So it's the last game of the year. The Brewers out of a pennant race. And we go to extra innings. And my partner here is furious
He has, what, tickets to a football game or something?
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a
Slams the
meaningless
table.
game. Yeah. Meaningless.
Just unleashes the most profanity-laced exit strategy about this.
Yeah.
And we looked over there, and you're still on the air.
Am I in a theater here or something? What's going
Hey,
on?
by the way, I've been denying that for years. Thank you very much, calling me out.
Uke looks over at us and says, I'm still on the air.
They got a bad engineer next door. He's really hot. Yeah.
I thought you guys went off the air about the same time we did between innings.
Really,
That wasn't the case.
he's doing runs, hits, and errors, and
I'm doing my online college education stuff, and
and instead of just being horrified, Uke just started cracking up. That
it was good.
I laughed so hard.
He was looking over here, and I was looking down below, wondering who that was.
That's right. We look down here.
Yeah, we're on the air yet.
Hey,
Who was
Cardinal
that?
fans.
Yeah, we're on the air yet, you pigs.
Here's Matt Carpenter, and he takes a strike. Gio Gonzalez, last time against Carpenter, struck him out, and in a 2-1 count.
I forgot about that.
Oh, man.
That was a good one.
I will never forget that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
There are a couple of moments with you I'll never forget. One of the moments I remember with you was my first year with the Brewers in '07, and you decided we were going to go play golf.
Oh, yeah.
And you, as Carpenter skies one to center field, and Kane will settle under it. And that was great because we had a great talk, and we remember we played with a couple of pros.
Yes.
And hey, I think we can beat these guys.
Yeah. I remember that.
And we took them on, and we beat them. I was so scared, though. I was never more nervous in my life. I can't lose with Bob Uecker as my
you're
partner.
the ringer, right?
I'm supposed to be the ringer.
You are, yeah.
I was playing good back then. I just come from the Golf Channel, so that was good fun.
Oh, one of their guys was in a wheelchair, too. I think
He
we
was
should
too,
mention
yeah.
that.
That's right. He was not exactly on top of his game. I think you flustered him. Had a lot of those moments with the great Bob Uecker, who joins us here.
I've had a lot of flustering moments, B. A lot of them.
All right, so what are you doing for fun these days, aside from broadcasting baseball? You're still swimming?
That's about all I can do.
Synchronized swimming still? Or?
Pretty much synchronized, and I'm out of the floaty system now. I've taken those off. But no, as you age and mature, I guess, your athletic limitations kind of wander to the other side, too.
That's a really good way to put that. I've been going through that. I'm just starting on the verge of that.
Sounds like a commercial.
The last time I played golf this year, I played in the Lombardi, and good to play in that that kind of an environment where you got the old Packer guys around and guys that you hung around with a long time ago. But no, I'm still enjoying doing the games, and I'm around you guys every day. That's part of what makes it good. I'm being serious now. To be able to come to work every day, come to the ballpark every day, and do a Major League Baseball game and be around the guys in the clubhouse. I think that's the one thing that I get a kick out of, too, because they kind of still treat me like I'm one of the guys, one of the players.
And that's one of the many things that all of us have learned from you. To really, seriously, to appreciate what you have, what you're doing every day, and honor the game that way. You do that every single day.
When it's over, Rock, it's over, man. Yep.
1-2-3 inning for Gio Gonzalez. Feel like call a little play-by-play? How about we come back? Maybe a couple of hitters. Maybe somebody goes deep.
All right, yeah, absolutely.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Across from the mighty Mississippi, the old man. 2-0 Brewers as we go to the top of the fourth. The lights are up at Busch Stadium. And we head to the fourth with Hernan Perez leading off in a 2-0 Brewer lead. How about Bob Uecker, you call a little play-by-play. Would you mind? Do your normal thing. We'll be here when you need us. We're going to go, head over next door.
All right, B, I'm on you. 1-0 offering on Perez. A strike on the outside corner, and it's even. 1-1, 2-0 Brewers lead here in the fourth inning. Perez sends one in the air, foul, right field side, and back in the seats. Ball 1 and strike 2. Got a break in St. Louis weather-wise today and tonight. Weather forecast last night was looking bad, Rock, for tonight.
As long as it didn't rain on getaway day, you.
Well, and swinging a bouncer hit to third, but foul.
That's kind of the rule, isn't it?
Yeah, that was. The other thing was the Cardinals had the day off on Thursday too, and had that one got banged last night or tonight, you know what would have happened with us?
We'd have been here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
1-2 offering. Gomber is low and away with a changeup, and Perez chased it. And there's 1 up and 1 down here in the Brewers half of inning number 4.
This guy's been a good find for the Cardinals. I mean, he's been throwing the baseball
he's not a big time thrower, Rock, speed-wise. He's in the low to middle 90s, but and the guy that I always appreciated, and now that he's with the crew, is Gio Gonzalez. Guy that doesn't throw hard, fastball, changeup.
Yeah.
But if you make pitches, as we always talk about, and if you are a baseball fan, if you make pitches, if you're around there all the time, you got a chance to win. Moustakas, bouncer, shallow right. Colton Wong has that. 2 are up and 2 are down here in the fourth inning. Jonathan Scope is coming up. Crowd tonight in St. Louis should be in that 35 to 37,000 range. Yeah, last night's forecast and the rain last night stopped play for about a half an hour, and then the forecast for today looked awful.
Yeah.
Later on this afternoon, though, kind of cleared up and a little high and away. 1 ball and no strikes on Jonathan Scope.
I think they're still calling for some rain later on, but maybe after the game.
Following tonight's game, they can do whatever they want with rain. Absolutely. Gomber ready again. Low and inside, 2-0. Yeah, the Cub game should be getting underway in Wrigley Field. Pirates last night, big winners. Scope, jam job, foul. And it's 2 balls and a strike on Jonathan. Well, the Pirates, as we left Pittsburgh, the talk around the Pirate clubhouse was going to Chicago and doing some damage to the Cubs.
Well, they did last night for sure.
Sends a liner to left, dropping in front of Ozuna. Looking at my score sheet here, base hit.
But in your defense, that's my score sheet with very chicken scratch little handwriting. I apologize.
No, your score sheet is good. Yeah, that's good.
It's not exactly an original. It's right out of the PR department.
Yeah, now on radio, this would be a curse word.
That says exclamation point, hashtag time.
Another word for out.
You have a very detailed score system over there. I apologize for giving you my score sheet. The K that's backward, that's a strikeout looking.
I got it now. I just turned this upside down and I see what you're doing.
Sorry. I'll just say it out next time. The hand signals didn't seem to work.
1 ball and 1 strike now.
Now you guys share a scorebook over
we
there,
use the
right?
same
You
book.
go back and forth.
Yeah, well,
that makes sense.
that's the way I was taught by Merle Harmon, Rocky, way back when in 1971 when I came back to Milwaukee. Merle Harmon and Tom Collins used the same book. swing and a miss by Manny, of course. Ball 1 and strike 2.
Yeah,
but back then, the guy who was the number 2 guy made out the scorebook every day. So I did it, and then as we moved on through, Pat Hughes and Corey Provis, Jim Powell, and all the guys that have been here, they always make the scorebook out, but we use the same scoring system. I showed each and every guy what we did as scoring, as far as scoring went, and that's the way it's been all that time. The pitch. Pena, line drive, base hit to left. Ozuna on that one, and the Brewers have 2 on now with 2 down. But yeah, it was always the same. We scored the same. I mean, every guy that's worked over there with us, scoring is the same. So you can, you miss an inning or two, you can jump right back in and look at the book and let her rip.
You can actually have a couple innings off.
Yeah, you can go, get a cocktail if you want.
Who had the worst handwriting of all your partners?
Levering, Jeff had a little problem.
A little problem.
Base hit to center.
Gio.
Hey! We're going to get another run here. Gio Gonzalez with a run-scoring base hit.
Wow.
How about that one, folks? Nicely done. Brewers had 1 more. It's 3-0 on a base hit by Gonzalez.
2 outs, nobody on, 3 consecutive singles, bottom of the order. Nicely done. Well done.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Uke.
You got her.
Still got it, man.
Yeah, I can't believe how many times I was told I've had it. So we get a pitching change here in St. Louis in the 4th inning, top half.
And we will take a time. I'm sorry.
No, you know.
Whoa.
I'm throwing it over to you, baby. I don't know what your.
I wasn't sure where we were going there.
Yeah, I don't know what your out cue is here.
It's whatever it is you want to say.
It is? All right,
Just
see
do
you
it
later.
in 2 seconds.
All right, we'll be back.
We're on.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Bob Uecker joining us, calling a little play-by-play. He has drummed up a 2-out rally here. The Brewers have a 3-0 lead. And here comes Lorenzo Cain. Lorenzo Cain will face Tyson Ross. Rock?
Yeah, 31st appearance. He made 23 starts this year. You see the 8-9 record. A 405 earned run average. Very short start tonight for Gomber. And the Brewers able to chase him early, get into that Brewers bullpen, Uke.
You got it. Lorenzo Cain, Rock, and Tyson Ross. 2 on, 2 outs, 1 in. Fastball, striking its own one. That's a lot of fun over here.
Did you notice that Lorenzo Cain today wore Christian Yelich's BP
I
top?
did. As a matter of fact, I actually went out and told him as he was coming out of the dugout. He ran out on the field, and low and away, and a good save by Yadier Molina on that one. we actually told Lorenzo Cain that he had Yelich's top on, right? So he turned around and looked at it, and sure enough. So I told him the story about the day that Jim Gander put on Robin Yount's number 19 and ran out there, and it was during the national anthem. As they were getting ready to start play, and Robin walked over to Gander to stand for the national anthem on the second base side or the right field side of second, and he told Gumby, "Do you know you have my uniform on?"
Did he?
He did.
And Gumby's response?
He got upset. I can't tell you what he said, but he had to run up into the clubhouse and change into his own jersey, number 17, and then come out and get ready to play. That was a good one.
17 and 19 are close.
What are you talking about? It's only 2 away.
Cain said he did it because he's kind of punching a few singles, and he's up there in the batting leaders. He said it's time for some power. He wanted to get a little bit of that Christian Yelich pop, and maybe this is the moment with Uecker on the call. This would be fantastic.
3-1 count. See if he gets one.
Ross deals, and he is in there on the outside corner. It's full up now, 3-2. Traveling time.
Lorenzo he does such a fabulous job getting on base. That 2-strike approach, amazing. Table setter, isn't he?
Watch this guy hit rock. If you could do that, if everybody could do it the way he does it, it's not that easy.
No.
But they make it look easy. They sure do. 3-2, they run, and that one's lined foul to the right field side. We'll do it again at 3-2. And Rocky, you know this, and we all know how tough hitting is, but some guys just have a knack of doing it and making it look so easy, and it's not.
Yeah, they slow the game down. The ball comes to them a little bit slower than the rest of us.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't either.
They make it look easy, and it's not.
And it's like with
really
Cain,
isn't.
it's almost like he picks the ball out of the catcher's glove at times.
Right field, when he hits those balls at right field, absolutely. Ross steals, low and away, and he walked him. And the bases are loaded now for the man, Christian Yelich. Doing the story on Christian Yelich, there's a writer from the New York Times here that has been with the club for a couple of days, and having a chance to talk to him and relate to this guy who the other day in Pittsburgh, Rock, when he got drilled in the elbow, and he stole second base. We know why he stole second, because he was upset and he was going to show the Pirates. And I asked him after the game what he was talking to Josh Harrison about out there, and he said it was nothing about the stolen base. Harrison more concerned about how he felt, and Yelich was upset at the fact that Elias Diaz had the target set underneath his arm, down low and inside.
Up and in where the guy has no idea where the ball's going, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Yelich was upset, and he hadn't forgot about it yet. 1 strike on him, but what a year. Swinging a drive to the gap in right center. It's going to get all the way to the wall. 3 are going to score, and Yelich digging for third. The throw, he's in there with a 3-bagger. Wow.
Amazing,
in the
isn't
gap.
he? Well, he reached the century mark in RBIs. I mean, how many times have we seen that guy do this in these big spots for the Brewers? It's been all season long they've been counting on him to do it. All this coming, Uecker, with 2 outs, nobody on. 3 consecutive singles, a walk, and now a triple by Yelich to clear the bases. Amazing.
When we watched him as a member of the Marlins, and who could have ever predicted this?
Right.
When you make that kind of a deal, and in giving up what they gave up, Rock, was not, this was nothing minor.
Right.
But to have him come through the way he has here, and every time he does something at Miller Park, the fans stand in unison. I don't care what he does.
Yeah.
That takes him over the triple-digit mark in RBIs. 101 ribbies for Yelich now.
Strike on Aguilar, and it's 0-1. How about this guy, too? Man.
Well, the first 3 in his batting order have been pretty good all season long.
Isn't it funny, though, Rock, how sometimes clubs miss on certain players? And in this case, the Indians with Aguilar. When you have a guy like this who doesn't get a chance to play that often, and you make a deal for a guy like Aguilar, and nobody really talked about him all that much, but all of a sudden he's come with a huge year this year. He's got a chance to overtake the home run leader, too. He's getting in that area, too, now. But a big RBI year for him.
And it seems like any time you have a season like this, there's always one player you really don't count on. You figure he's going to have a good year, based on what he did last year. He didn't really have much of a start. Didn't play much in April. Basically, second week in May, he got going, and it's been amazing to watch what he's been able to do.
He kind of thought his ceiling was what it was last year. That was about what you were going to get out of Jesus Aguilar. Was going to be maybe one of his best years, but man, he has blown right through that.
Sends that one foul. Ball 1 and strike 2 on Aggie.
Okay, this is just what Craig Counsell would order up for tonight. A lot of baseball to be played, but to be up 6-0, to already be in the Cardinal bullpen with a bullpen that he would like to rest a little bit tonight, you couldn't ask for a better setup than the first 4 innings here. It's still looking for more in this 4th inning.
Man, we got to admire what Counsell's been able to do over the last few years.
Absolutely,
here. It's been a really good job of managing.
Aguilar again, right field side, foul and out of play. You know, the thing that is something that I've been kind of bugged with over the last couple of years, when baseball people and baseball front office people sometimes talk about 100 RBI years are not a big thing anymore. That's not true to me.
No.
Come on, will you?
That's a big year. That means you've been healthy most of the year, too,
right? Oh, my goodness.
Well, just talk to the players, right? I mean, Aguilar, you could almost see him relax when he finally hit that mark.
Got him to end the inning. Brewers get 4, though, here in the 4th inning. We go to the bottom half of the inning. It is 6-0 Brewers.
And they are all smiles right now, sort of. 6-0 is the score as Milwaukee plates 4, 3 RBI triple by Christian Yelich, and he is in our Indeed player resume. Christian Yelich in his National League ranks leads the NL in batting average coming into play today. Lorenzo Cain was 3rd. Combine the on base and the slugging percentage, the top OPS man in the NL as well. 2nd in runs, he's 5th in RBIs now. 101 ribbies for Yelich, and he's top 10 in home runs. And when you stack it all together, it looks like an MVP season for Christian Yelich, especially with the kind of second half he's had and the kind of September he's had.
It's always amazing. I mean, anytime it seems like the Brewers need a big hit, he's up there. He's able to get the job done. Amazing.
Yeah, you know what is the big thing for me Rock, is the fact that the other night he hit a double down the left field line, just inside the line, right? Then the next night he comes up and hits one into the right field corner, hits one to dead center, hits one way out in center field in Pittsburgh. I mean, he hits them all over the place.
It's tough to pitch to him.
And he's one of those, watch him out in right field. He's out there relaxing and having a nice time, and it's a nice night for him.
He really hasn't been into a slump this year. I mean, right? I mean, he's been really consistent all year, but this second half, off the charts. I've never seen anything like it.
It's fun. It's fun to be on this side. Strike on the outside corner. Paul DeYoung is the batter now. Gio Gonzalez, working with a 6-0 lead, has allowed only a base hit. Little low off speed, even now at 1-1. Yeah, that's nice. And nice when you're on this side of the coin in winning. Hit in the air into left center and deep. And this one is going to be caught by Kane at the wall.
Makes it look easy. Just glides. I got an MVP on Yelich this year. I got a Gold Glove on Lorenzo Cain this year.
You know, his first step all the time, you can pretty much tell if he's got a beat on it or if it's in the ballpark, where, once in a while you might get a little nervous. You can tell pretty much by the sound that the ball is going to be problematic. But when you watch him, if you watch him, you know it's not going to be a problem.
He digs you, though, sometimes. I think he's looking out into the seats and all of a sudden just kind of camping under it.
Not you. That's me. The professionals don't miss that stuff. Yuke's all over that.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
By the way, that's 8 in a row for Gio Gonzalez.
Marcelo Osuna now with one down.
Wonder what Marlins fans think. Every time they look at a box score and they see what Ozuna, Yelich, and Giancarlo Stanton are doing this year. They're
what
3
fans?
Outfielders last year. Both
what
of them.
fans?
Yeah.
That's got to be, that one is high and away. That's got to be a big plus for Yelich, too. Playing in front of people. I mean, down in Florida, come on, man. They don't draw down there. They really don't.
Energized.
Too bad. Line to left and Osuna.
That guy's not getting fooled, is he?
That was hit right on the nose.
He's got both hits.
2 out of 2 for Ozuna. Jed Jerko coming up now.
But really, when all 3 of those guys are doing what they do, I mean, they're worth the price of a ticket. I mean, just to watch them.
Mm-hmm. Did you like Brinson?
I did. But I would make that trade every time.
We all did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you give up a guy like Brinson and you get in return what the Brewers did in Yelich, Jerko coming up empty, and it's 0-1 on him. When you take a flyer on a trade like that, Brinson's a big-time guy, right?
Yeah, right.
And you're taking a flyer that Yelich is going to continue to do and be better than he ever was in Florida. And here he is, and that's what he's doing. Fouled away from Manny Pena.
Yeah, hitting half his games at Miller Park is a lot different than hitting in that ballpark in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good hitter's ballpark. At least home runs.
Got nice fish, though.
Yeah. I had the sea bass. What did you guys see? That's right.
They went with the flounder.
That's right.
It's not as fishy.
I did that as a player, too. Floundered.
I saw a beat-up old tuba at a pawn shop here in St. Louis. I was wondering if that might be yours.
You know what? Now, I don't know if you're telling me a story or not, but Mike Shannon, who is one of the Cardinal broadcasters and a former teammate of mine way back, Mike Shannon went out and got a tuba last year and had me come over to their booth and sign that thing and then take a picture. 2 balls and 2 strikes now from an infamous picture that took place way back in 1964 during the World Series. And there is the Moon Man now. That was his name, and it still is. Now look at him. There's somebody that's over-medicated.
He looks a little upset by the score.
That's the way he always looks. 2-2, low and away, and it's full up now. The Moon Man. There he is.
Can you tell the story for those who don't know it? What happened with the tuba?
Well, it was during the World Series, and they had three Dixieland bands on the field during batting practice. And one of our pitchers at that time, Roger Craig, we were in the outfield shagging, and the Cardinals now have 2 on via the base on balls for Jed Jerko. The Dixieland bands, they would take turns playing. So I was in left field shagging fly balls during batting practice, and Roger Craig said, "Uecker, why don't you pick that thing up and put it on?" So all right. Well, there was a photographer at home plate, and he took the picture. I mean, I should have put it on and took it right off, but I thought once I had it on, why not try and catch a fly ball in here?
Why not?
And
seems like a reasonable thing to do.
I missed on a couple and dented the tuba, which cost me $260.
Well, where's the ideal spot to catch a fly ball with a tuba?
Well,
in the hole?
In that hole, yeah. which I missed really bad. I just thought if I catch one in that hole, let's see this guy blow it now.
He might have swallowed it.
Swinging a foul by Yadier Molina. But Johnny Keane didn't take too kindly to that. He was the manager at that time, and he told his coaching staff that I would not play in the World Series. I found that out from my great friend, the late Red Shandies, who passed away not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And he came in the booth last year and told me. He asked me, he said, "Uecker, did you ever wonder why you didn't play in the World Series?" And I said, "Not really, because we won." And I really didn't care. And the $8,600 we got as a winner's share was twice as what I was making as a player.
$8,600, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, he told me that, and Johnny Keane was so upset at that photo, which again, it was, no big deal, but he thought it was. Molina, 2 strikes now and nothing. But I never really cared about it that much. I would have liked to have played. There were a couple of games that I could have played, going in and giving Timmy a break, McCarver. But I thought, no big deal. We won, and we were the champions. But yeah, Red told me that. That was a long time that I didn't know anything about that. Why it happened. Yeah. 2 strikes. Molina to left. Big trouble and gone. And St. Louis is on the board. Yadier Molina with his 20th of the year. Gonzalez got one up that time, and he jumped all over it and knocked it out of here.
Yep, got a ball game now.
There was no doubt about that one.
Feels a lot like Sunday in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
The Brewers are up 7-0, and Wade Miley ran into trouble in the 4th inning. And the last thing Craig Counsell, Derek Johnson want to do in this game is go to the bullpen this early, but there is activity now as Derek Johnson pays a visit to the mound.
Yeah, well, Craig Counsell's not messing around. He hasn't since the beginning of September. Any sign of trouble with the starters, they're gone.
The pitch from Gonzalez was up. It was a fat pitch to hit, and Yadier Molina jumped all over it and put St. Louis on the board. No doubt about it. Here's Harrison Bader. You like this guy, Rock?
Bader
I do.
Run, good player.
I think this guy's going to be a good one.
Contact, yeah.
Yep. I think he's going to be a good one. Bader rolled for 1 and came up empty on that one.
Doesn't it feel like the Brewers and the Cardinals, with their young talent, the way the personnel is set up, it's going to be a lot of years of this kind of baseball, it feels like. I mean,
hope
it
so.
feels like it's going to be a big-time rivalry with pennant contending teams with so much talent.
I hope so. I really do. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the Cardinals started to play good baseball when they decided to put Harrison Bader and some of these younger guys in the lineup every day.
I really like this guy. I mean, watching him the first couple of games that I saw him play in, speed-wise, he's got a cannon of an arm. He reminds me a lot of Brett Phillips. Speed.
Makes some good plays in center field.
Yep. You know, Rock, and you've been watching these guys for a long time. I'm talking about the St. Louis Cardinals. They don't go too long without, you know, jumping back into a pennant race. They don't.
Yeah. Always seems like they hover, don't they?
Yep. Stays alive, 2-2. When you have a fan base that the Cardinals have here in St. Louis, you can't afford not to come up with big-time players and trades and whatever it's going to take to get you back into the upper echelon of the Central Division. No matter what it is, you have to do it. To short, easy play.
That was a pitch he tried to make to Molina to end the inning, get that ground ball, end the inning with a double play, but got it up, out over the plate. Molina hooked it on out of here. Always sees with Gio Gonzalez, when he scuffles, there's walks involved.
Yeah, and Rock, you've caught 100 guys like that. You know, if they don't have the big overpowering stuff and they got to be fine and right, and they're not, you know, you call them and
gotta have
you watch them.
Yeah, have to have location. You start walking guys, then you're in trouble.
Yep. Colton Wong. Little low, 1 ball and 1 strike on him.
You produced a lot of runs in your play-by-play inning here. You goodness, 7 on the board right now.
Wong came up empty. Ball 1 and strike 2 on him. Nah, this is fun. Thank you, guys.
You didn't think you were going to come in here and fly right through with 3 up, 3 down innings.
I'm going to go out to the concession stand now. They asked me if I'd work there too.
Yeah.
I'll be in the air by Colton Wong and playable for Mike Moustakas. And the inning is over, but not before St. Louis gets 3. And thank you guys for having me over here, and I enjoyed it tremendously, and I'm glad to call you friends. I really am. 6-3 Brewers.
Love you. Thank you,
buddy. Appreciate it.
By NL hitters in 2018. Yelich is at the top. Ryan Braun is second. These are measured exit velocity at 95 miles an hour better, and Braun hits that one sharply right at second base. Wong will make the play for the out. so thankful to work alongside with Bob Uecker. That was an absolute treat, wasn't it?
Yeah, just
great to have him.
You can't get enough of Uecker around the ballpark. We were so glad that when we were told that he was going to make this final regular season trip, hang out with Uecker. You know, he's a funny guy. He's got great stories, but you know, he's taught a lot of us about this game and about being a broadcaster and just being around this game and appreciating what you have and what you do. And he brings it every single day when he's behind that mic.
Now there's a crowd around him wherever he goes. I do think, you know, because we've done it a lot and we do it every year, a few times a year we have him on, and he's always kind enough to come join us. You know, he prefers to do radio. That's where he wants to be, and but I know he knows the fans enjoy hearing him call games on television as Perez with a single up the middle. But I do think it's a little bit of the solitude that he loves so much to be able to call a baseball game. You know, because as soon as he steps up, goes up those stairs and go wherever he goes in any ballpark, there's a crowd of people around him that want to just be close to him, near him, and no different here. As soon as he's done with us, he's got a lot of people that, and I'm talking celebrities, executives. That was Ryan Ludwig, who was with Uecker, that asked him to come by his suite, the former Cardinal. So he gets a lot of that, and he handles it beautifully, but he's always in his comfort zone when he's calling baseball.
Yeah, he gets a night off, and what do? We ask him to come over here and call 2 innings.
I would rather he just call the whole game, but Mark Atanasio, the owner, sent me a text. He said we can't afford him to do one more inning, so it's not in the budget. He's going to send an invoice. Heard from a lot of people, actually. Roger Kaplinger, and great to hear from you, buddy. Thanks for the kind words. Trevor Hoffman sent us a note while Uecker was on. He said he still watches a lot of the games and always pulling for the Brewers, the Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman, and he was having some fun with us on text message while Uecker was in the booth. Great to hear from you, Trevor, as well.
Yeah. Nice of Uecker to do it.
Yeah. Mike Moustakas, Brewers trying to put some runs on the board again after the Cardinals get 3. And have tightened this game up. A 6-0 Brewer lead, quickly erased with one swing of the bat by Molina.
It's amazing how often that guy does that. You know, when his team needs it, gets him right back in the game. Big fly to left with a couple of men on.
I've had this argument with people before about the Hall of Fame. To me, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. Look at Moustakas, sends one deep to right. And that is back. Martinez at the wall, and he can't make the play. It hits the wall. Perez on his way to third. Moustakas is in at second base. And another miscue in right field by Martinez. And the Brewers have him at second and third on a double by Moustakas.
Yeah, that ball's got to be caught. I mean, that's the second misplay he's had in as many games. Cost his team a run yesterday. Misplayed a ball, ended up as a triple. And this one here, I mean, he's got to have it. He just missed it. The glove was there, just missed it. Very uncomfortable going back, and he whiffs it.
The Cardinals go as long as they can with Martinez in the game defensively. When they're down, they keep him in the game because they need his bat. But this could be a huge swing moment. They're going to walk Jonathan Scope to load the bases. And Manny Pena could deliver a big shot here for the Brewers in the 5th inning. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Brewers got 4 in the 4th inning. I tell you how they did it, but I can't read Uecker's writing, so he's got very nice handwriting. But
well, it all started 2 outs and nobody on. Perez, Moustakas made outs, and then the fun began. 3 consecutive hits, including one by Gonzalez. Walking in the bases loaded triple by Yelich.
Pena at the plate, presented by Blaze Pizza. Brewers get 4 in the 4th. Cardinals get 3 in the bottom half. Now Pena can add to it. One catcher is homered in this game. Pena would like to be the other. Tyson Ross deals, and Pena takes a ball. This is where the Brewers have been so patient here recently.
Well, not swinging the pitches off the edge, especially when they're got the count in their favor. 2 strikes, they might chase a little bit, but not too much before that.
Manny Pena looking for a big moment. And he takes a strike. Didn't like the call. Looked like it was off the plate. And he's chatting with the home plate umpire, Will Little.
Yeah, pretty close.
Not one you'd want to swing at 2-0 anyway. Big Tyson Ross, 2-1, and a swing and a foul. You know what the Cardinals are thinking here? They walk scope. They're thinking ground ball double play to get out of the inning.
Yeah. Well, you look on deck, and Craig Counsell has Domingo Santana.
Who would hit for Gio Gonzalez after a 26-pitch 4th inning for Gonzalez. And the 2-2 is inside, ball 3. Ross was a starter for the Padres earlier in the year. Cardinals got him off waivers in early August. He's been the long man. Still trying to get multiple innings out of him. But Manny Pena could disrupt that plan right here. Full count, 1 away. Perez, Moustakas, and Scope on the bases. And that's a shot into left field, a base hit. Perez is in. Moustakas will hold at third. Manny Pena with an RBI single. And the Brewers go up 7-3 now, and they answer immediately after the Cardinals score in the 4th.
Exactly what you have to do to put the pressure on. Those add-on runs, so important as you get through the game. And once again, the Brewers putting together a nice string of base hits and able to tack on another run just out of the reach of Jerko. And 1 run in, and let's see, they're not taking any chances. My Brewers have been swinging the bats, haven't they? 11 hits already, and we're in the 5th inning.
And just 1 out in the 5th inning. And Mike Schilt back to the mound and back to his bullpen. The Brewers are set up. A run is in. Bases loaded, 1 away. Pitching change at Busch.
Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile, and out at Wrigley Field, the Pirates have jumped out to a 3-0 lead thanks to this 3-run bomb by Pablo Reyes. That hit to left field off of Cubs starter Mike Montgomery. A great pitching matchup there as well. Mike Montgomery for the Cubs against Chris Archer for the Pirates. The Pirates currently lead that one 3-0 in the third at Wrigley Field.
All right, Sophia, thank you. And this could be very interesting in the National League Central Division. If the Brewers can win this game and that score hangs up at Wrigley Field, the division lead would be down to a half a game, a full game in the loss column. Cubs have one more game to play. So the new pitcher is Dominic Leone, and he'll face Eric Thames with the bases loaded, one away, 7-3 Milwaukee. Manny Pena with an RBI single, and that has set up the Brewers for a big inning here.
We saw Leone. He was at the end of the game yesterday. Got an out in the ninth inning.
Cardinals got him from the Blue Jays in an offseason trade that involved Randall Grichuk. Big swing by Thames. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Thames with a triple last night. His at-bats have come primarily as a pinch hitter in the month of September. It's tough to get your rhythm, tough to feel comfortable, but maybe that hit last night will get him going here. Brewers could use a big one. They lead by 4, trying to add to it. And a swing and a miss, 1-2 the count. Can't believe he missed it.
Cut fastball, 90.
Moustakas, Scope, Pena on the bases. The 1-2, Thames able to lay off. Thames with 16 home runs, 37 driven in, missed 7 weeks with a wrist injury. And that set him back. And because Aguilar's had the year he's had, Thames then, in order to get any playing time at all, had to play the outfield. And he is not a good outfielder at this point of his career.
Same situation with Martinez right now with the Cardinals out and right.
So that has cost him playing time. Full count. Leone deals. And a strikeout. Thames is gone. He threw him a slider on a 3-2 pitch. That is a risky pitch, but he gets the out. Thames is retired for the second out of the inning. And now to the top of the order, and Lorenzo Cain.
Yeah, strictly breaking pitches for strikes. That one out of the strike zone. Pretty close, though, but Thames felt as though he needed to swing at it, protect the plate.
Well, Lorenzo Cain has been one of the best hitters in the National League with runners in scoring position. He's up there on the first pitch, fouling it off. Lorenzo with a single and a walk here tonight. Scored a run. He was on base scoring from first on the triple by Christian Yelich. And that's going to be a soft liner caught. Oh, the Brewers get one, but they let a golden opportunity go by. Leone shuts the door, but the Brewers do add. And it's a 4-run lead for Milwaukee as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Association consists of 600 players who are members of the Milwaukee Brewers or the club's predecessor, the Seattle Pilots. The club's alumni maintain an active role in community outreach, speaking engagements, and fan interactions. To learn more about the Brewers Alumni Association, you can visit brewers.com/alumni.
Okay, Sophia, thank you. And it's going to be a new pitcher. So Gio Gonzalez goes 4. Both starters are out. The Brewers have a 7-3 lead. Xavier Cedeno will be on to pitch.
And left-hander on, you got Wisdom, the pinch hitter. You bring Cedeno in large part to keep Adams and Garcia, the left-handers, on the bench. And then you have Matt Carpenter coming up. Not sure how long Cedeno is going to be in after that. He's made 11 scoreless appearances for the Brewers.
Patrick Wisdom will bat for St. Louis. Hitting in the 9 spot in the batting order. Matt Carpenter is due next.
It's always good to be able to answer back after the Cardinals put up 3 runs, although they could have had a lot more. Good they were able to put up 1 anyway.
One of the 3 lefties in the bullpen, but you figure Hader's down tonight. That's a shot into left field. Braun hustling to cut it off, does so. Wisdom will stop around first base. Nice play by Braun, holding Wisdom to a single. It's a pinch hit single for Wisdom, and the Cardinals are back at it. They've got a man on here to start the 4th.
It's the cutter curveball combination for Xavier Cedeno, and apparently got that a little bit too much of the plate up in the strike zone. He's been very good against lefties in his career, but Greg Counsell pretty confident in his ability to get right-handers out as well.
So Carpenter, the man Cedeno is on to face primarily. There is activity in the Brewer bullpen. You got the top of the order. This is a key inning here for the Brewers in the 5th. Taylor Williams figure would have the string of right-handers coming up next. Martinez, DeYoung, Ozuna. Big out. Carpenter with the Brewers up 7-3. Cedeno misses low. If you weren't with us at the outset of the broadcast, Jeremy Jeffress, who was not available yesterday with neck spasms, he is available tonight. Craig Counsell said before the game that he's had some improvement there. He is in the bullpen, which is a good sign. He was not down there yesterday. Figure Corbin Burns is not available, Hader's out, and certainly Freddie Peralta, who pitched 3 2/3. Everybody else, though, would be hot. Craig Counsell did say he would prefer not to pitch Corey Knebel tonight if possible.
There's a couple of guys he'd like to stay away from. Not to say that they won't make it in the ballgame at some point. A lot of that time between now and getting to Jeremy Jeffress, though.
Yeah, we're only in the 5th. Been a lot of activity. Brewers led 6-0. Cardinals scored 3 on a Molina 3-run homer in the 4th. Brewers just added 1. And now Carpenter draws the walk. That's what you cannot do against the St. Louis Cardinals. They have too many power hitters. And walks turn into multi-runs. And Cedeno gives up a hit and a walk in his outing tonight. And the Brewers are in some trouble here in the 5th. Cedeno's out. Counsell back to the bullpen. Taylor Williams coming on. We'll set him up after this. to a big lead, but the Cardinals have had some traffic on the last few innings. Gio Gonzalez at one point had retired 8 straight, but then a hit, a walk, and a 3-run homer by Molina in the 4th inning. And now St. Louis with 2 on, nobody out. Martinez coming up. Taylor Williams in the game on the mound.
I mean, we saw him last night, 2/3 scoreless, gave up a hit, 57 punch outs, and just shy of 52 innings of work this year. Has given up to 6 home runs. Another right-hander's coming up.
Williams needing a double play ball here. He'll get some ground balls with his slider. He's got a nasty, hard slider. Brewers 7, Cardinals 3, 2 on, nobody out. Wisdom had a pinch hit single.
Be careful, low fastballs to this guy.
Homered last night on a Josh Hader low fastball. And a wave and a miss. A strike on Martinez. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Yeah, back-to-back sliders got him to chase that one. Tried to hold up, couldn't.
One ball, 1 strike. Throw him another one.
Got that big uppercut. Off the plate. Good pitch.
Crowd is hopeful. Williams trying to quiet him down. 1 and 2 and misses. Nice play by Pena. That keeps the double play intact. And it's another slider from Taylor Williams.
Yeah, it's been all sliders. We'll see if he wants to try a fastball at some point. This one not even close. Great play by Manny to keep it close. Runners have to stay put.
Two. Missed with the fastball. Big pitch right here. Full count, nobody out. Williams deals and a swing and a base hit to right. Wisdom will stop at third. And a good throw from Yelich. The Cardinals have loaded him up with nobody out and the heart of their order coming up.
Yep. Pretty good at bat right there by Martinez. Fastball up and away, went right with it. Found the hole in the right field. Shortens up. That pitch was way off the outside corner at 96. Punches it into the hole. Nobody out. They hold him up.
Cardinals quickly bring the tying run to the plate. Paul DeYoung.
And Brewers with the infield back. They'll trade 2 outs for a run.
This is a team that hits the ball in the air. They've got power up and down their lineup. Williams has offered a steady diet of sliders thus far. The 0-1. 0-2 the count. Another slider from Taylor Williams. Now you wait your whole life to be able to perform in situations like this in a pennant race, and Williams gets that chance. Normally Williams would be in the game. He's part of the group of relievers that typically pitch when the Brewers are down or maybe the game is tied. This time he's out there to try to hold the lead in the 5th inning. Short start by Gonzalez.
A good pitch up out of the zone, 98 miles an hour. He's feeling good out there tonight.
Brewers desperate for an out here in the 5th inning. Milwaukee just stranded, the bases loaded in the top of the 5th. Here's an 0-2. And a little pop-up. That's a long run. Yelich wants it. He'll make the catch. Throw goes to third. And the Cardinals score. They get a sac fly out of DeYoung. They get a run back. And it's 7-4 now.
And the guy coming up's the guy that worries you right here. I mean, he has stung the baseball twice. Ozuna walking to the plate. Talk about a low ball hitter. There's one coming to the plate right now. Good double play candidate right here. Got to get that ball, either the fastball up or the slider down and away. See if he can pull it. About a 2-hopper to Perez right here.
Well, when the Cardinals made the deal for Ozuna, these were the moments they had in mind. 2 on, 1 away. And a swing and a miss. He took a rip.
That's why you want that slider. He has hit 2 fastballs very hard tonight. Both off of Gio Gonzalez. A little bit more velocity with Taylor Williams.
Here's the 0-1. Able to lay off. I'm thinking about that outside corner, though. High stress pitches here for Taylor Williams.
You see Ozuna just sitting all over fastball. You saw him pull that front shoulder, waiting for that upper 90s heater. Took a very hittable slider right there. Check this out where this ends up.
Yikes. Carpenter is the runner at second. Martinez at first. Trying to survive the middle innings. Cardinals fighting for their postseason lives here. The 1-2, never mind, inside move. Carpenter not running. And Manny Piña's on his way.
Yeah, don't expect anybody to be running here. I mean, Carpenter and Martinez. I think it was just, I don't think Williams was really all that excited about the call that they made there.
One ball, 2 strikes. 2 on, 1 away. Here it comes, and Ozuna fouls it away.
Another one
right in the power zone. Gotta feel fortunate to get that one back.
Well, the reason that he doesn't hit is because he's really looking for that fastball. Has not had a fastball to hit yet.
Does he dare throw him a fastball? See where he goes. 1-2. And a fastball chopper over the head of Williams. Coming in. Perez can't make a play. Infield hit. Just put it in the perfect spot. And the Brewers had no place for an out. And now they're loaded with one away.
Yeah, once it got over the head of Taylor Williams, knew that was trouble because Ozuna gets down that line pretty good. He gained the fastball, just got on top of it because it's down 96 over his head, and now the trouble begins, and no play for Perez.
So the Cardinals bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Jed Jerko. Jerko has grounded into 10 double plays this season. Boy, he had a big cut. He was on that fastball.
And he knows he had one to hit right there.
Brandon Woodruff getting loose. Taylor Williams in relief of Xavier Cedeno, but he has been taxed here. High level pitches. Here's the 0-1.
In situations like this, 17 pitches feels more like 34 pitches.
Yeah.
A lot of energy expended in tight spots like this.
Brewers outfielders deep. Here's a 1-1. Jerko takes a ball. Missed with a fastball. Brewers had a 6-0 lead after a 4-run fourth. There's been a lot of activity on the bases since. Still a 3-run cushion, but the Cardinals have the tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. And Jerko bounces one third base. That's fair. Moustakas on the bag. Throw to first. And a double play to end the inning.
Wow. Boy, they needed that.
It wasn't the prettiest double play. Moustakas looked like he had slipped and then lost the handle. But Jerko does not run well. Close to being a foul ball. The Brewers get out of a hornet's nest.
Wow.
Taylor Williams fired up. Still 7-4 Milwaukee. Either able to add on a huge moment in this game as Jed Jerko bounces into a 5-4 2-3 double play to end the inning. It is our Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game, Rock.
Starts out with a really good pitch by Williams. This is barely fair down the line. You can see the third base umpire calling it fair. Moustakas slips on the bag, bobbles the ball, still able to get Jerko at first. 1 run for the Cardinals, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Yeah, good play by Moustakas.
How about the stretch by the big man over there? The 300-pound split to make that play. Cardinals strand a pair. They do get 1. So 7-4 now as we go to the 6th inning. Chasen Shreve is on to face Yelich. Probably be out there for 1 batter. These managers are going to empty out the bullpens in this game. One of the challenges that Counsell will have to deal with is he is without Hader, Corbin Burns, most likely Knebel. So we'll see how he organizes his bullpen the rest of the way. You saw Brandon Woodruff getting loose. He's been terrific in multi-inning appearances.
Yep.
This is not your regular offense here in the Cardinals, though. This is a very good offense that is in a pennant race and feeling like a do-or-die situation. Every out is big. Those innings get tougher and tougher. Now the offense is churning along though tonight. Yeah. 7 runs on 11 hits. They hope to add to it.
Yeah, as many at-bats as the Cardinals get, the Brewers have opportunities as well. And yeah, Brewers already put 7 runs on the board, 11 hits. They bring in a left-hander for Yelich, and Yelich, all he's done this year, hit .323 against lefties.
Slaps one left field. Back is Ozuna. He's got it for the out. He plays very deep, and Yelich is retired. And Chasen Shreve, who came to the Cardinals from the Yankees in that Luke Voit trade. Voit has gone off as a member of the Yankees. Shreve has been that situational guy, and Mike Shilt's going to make the change. Brebbia is coming in. And it is a 1-batter-faced outing for Shreve. Pitching change at Busch, 1 away in the 6th. Both teams feeling like they could have a lot more on the board, actually. Jesus Aguilar will bat with 1 away. First inning. How about Jesus Aguilar? 2 outs. StatCast AI powered by AWS. Nearly 105 off the bat. And a long opposite field home run into the bullpen of the Cardinals. And then Ryan Braun would go back-to-back with Aguilar. So with Yelich's 3 RBI triple, he's now over 100 RBIs. You got 2 with triple-digit RBI totals. It is the 11th occasion in Brewers franchise history they've had multiple triple-digit run producers. And Aguilar steps in. Has homered against Brebbia in his career.
You see the strikeout numbers, averaging over 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. And last pitched a few days ago against the Giants. Scoreless inning against San Francisco, 2 hits. He did strike out a batter. I can bring it in there pretty good. Upper 90, slider to go with it.
Brebbia already the 5th pitcher used. Talk about bullpenning. Last night the Cardinals used 7. Right off the end of the bat, and that'll be out number 2. Brewers knew they were bullpenning last night. They used 9 pitchers, 16 total pitchers in the game. So far tonight, Gonzalez has gone 4, giving up 3 earned runs, all on one swing of Yadier Molina's bat. Cedeno and Taylor Williams have covered the rest. Brandon Woodruff looks like he'll be next. Yeah, it might look like 1 inning in the books for Taylor Williams, but that would take a lot out of him.
Yeah, the heat was on, wasn't it? It started out with Cedeno, a walk and a hit.
Somehow managed to get through the heart of that Cardinal order, and only 1 run scored after 2 men were on with nobody out, and ultimately bases loaded with nobody out. That run, by the way, belongs to Cedeno. Ryan Braun homered for the 2nd time in this series in the 1st inning. And to the right side, and bobbled by Wong. Braun will reach. He hit it sharply, and Wong, who's normally sure-handed over there to make the play, just couldn't get it in his glove. I don't know if it hit the seam of the grass where the dirt and the grass meet or not, but a misplay by Wong.
Yeah, that had just missed it, flat out missed it, right up the glove. 2nd time the Bruins hit it pretty hard right at Wong. Yeah, he just missed that ball. Came up on him maybe just a little bit, but that's a play a second baseman's got to be able to make. That's an E4.
Opens the door for Hernan Perez. Now, no team wrestles with poor defense like the St. Louis Cardinals. They are regularly giving teams more outs than 3 in an inning. Plays they don't make.
Yeah, there's an example of it right there. Martinez has made 2 plays in this series that should have been made, weren't scored as errors.
No balls and a strike on Hernan Perez. 7-4 Brewers. Timeout is asked for, granted late. That's been going on a lot in this series. The Cardinal pitchers, this is a Mike Maddox thing. He did it with the Brewers when he was the pitching coach, but there is a threshold he likes to have pitchers go to. It's a bit of a pause, and what you're trying to do is make a pitch right before that hitter would ask for timeout.
Yeah, you're freezing the hitter a little bit. The longer he stands there like Perez is right now, the more tight you become. Call timeout.
Well, and it especially shows up when you have hitters who are in unusual stances. You know, guys who are squat down or are in a tense position anyway. That would not be the case with Perez. And with runners on base, it is as much to keep those runners tense and planted than anything else. 0-2 to Perez. Gonna check on Braun.
This could be a spot where you see Ryan try and steal a base. 0-2. Although you do have the equalizer behind home plate.
Perez with a single his last time up. Scored on the RBI by Pena, the single. And there it is again.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. Long pause. And Perez pops it up. Wong is back. Martinez is in. And Martinez makes the catch to end the inning. Brewers fail to score in the 6th. Works around an error, does Brebbia. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Well, Milwaukee right now a game and a half back of the Cubs. The Cubs continue their series against the Pirates, and as Sophia reported, the Pirates have a lead. That game's in the top of the 5th with the Pirates threatening, and they're up 4-0 at Wrigley Field. Cubs are already in their bullpen.
You realize the Phillies would have lost tonight, they're going to end up being under 500.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, and they were pushing for a division title just a couple of weeks ago.
Not that long ago. They have hit the skids. Brandon Woodruff on for the 18th time. He's made 4 starts, 3-0 record. Bottom half of the Cardinals order coming up.
Brewers need a clean inning here from Woodruff. This game has a hitterish feel to it, right? Base runners everywhere, lots of activity. There have been a combined 17 hits already, and that keeps momentum going for both teams. Cardinals put up a 0 in the 6th. Brewers lead by 3 and needing a 0 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Cardinals only 6 hits, but 5 of those coming in the last 2 innings.
And that big blow by Molina that turned a 6-0 Brewer lead into a 6-3 game with the 3-run shot, his 20th of the year. Breaks his bat. Woodruff has great stuff. He was the top prospect when the year began, the top pitching prospect. Burns was right behind him. Those two have flip-flopped now. Burns has had great success. He's almost graduated from the prospect status. Woodruff will be one of those pitchers vying for a rotation spot next year.
And every time he comes in, it seems like he's got more and more confidence in that off-speed stuff. It's not just a fastball slider. He's flipping up a couple of other pitches every now and again.
Brewers have so much talent, and they're young pitchers, guys like Peralta and Burns and Woodruff, and a few guys we haven't seen yet, like the minor league pitcher of the year, Zach Brown. You know, he'll be in spring training camp next year. Pirates have added on. It's now 5-0 Pittsburgh. Molina shoots one foul. Well, every game is huge. Every win matters. They're so valuable right now. But every now and then, step back and realize what this team is doing right now. 90 wins. They are 23 games over 500.
Season high.
Second best record in the National League. Broken bat. Little roller out to Moustakas. And Molina is retired.
Expensive at bat for the Cardinals. He busted 2 bats. Hey, enhance your next Brewers game day experience at Miller Park by downloading the MLB Ballpark app. With Ballpark, you can access and manage your tickets, plus enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, baseball bingo, and much more. Download the Ballpark app today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
Here's Harrison Bader, 0 for 2. Yelich made a nice catch on him on a foul ball in the second inning. Long running catch and ran it down. Last time up, he grounded to short. Another guy with a lot of pop in his bat. He'll be a big part of their team next year for sure.
Man, he's the guy that made Tommy Pham expendable. They traded him away. Everybody thought Tommy Pham was going to be around forever.
Yep. And things kind of turned around for the Cardinals at that point.
Yeah.
Pham to the Tampa Bay Rays. Woodruff deals an 0-2. Missed with a slider. I tell you, he is throwing gas tonight. 98 with the fastball. That was a slider at 89.
Yeah.
His arm is alive and well.
And you can do that when you're only asked to eat up maybe 1 or 2 innings. When you're starting, you got to pace yourself a little bit.
He's got Bader 1 and 2 after retiring Molina to start the inning. Bader right off the end of the bat.
Has him set up inside now. You see if he does the same thing he did to Molina. Bust him inside. See if he gets one on the inside corner. Anytime you see a guy foul off a pitch that far off the corner, he has to be vulnerable inside.
Setting up inside and sticks a fastball right there. Bader strikes out.
Easy game, isn't it?
You're calling a gem up here in the booth from 300 feet away.
No accountability up here. I just, made a mistake.
It helps when your pitcher puts it where you want it, though.
Yeah. There's that slider right here that he got a piece of, and then once you realize the guy's covering the outside corner that much, I mean, he's vulnerable inside.
2 outs. Colton Wong at the plate. First pitch strike. Everything's 96, 97, 98 for Woodruff. Letting it eat, as they say. And a fastball right by him, and it's 0-2 now.
That's where you pitch Colton Wong. Yeah, up in the zone. Good low ball hitter. Of course, I mean, I guess this day and age, who isn't a good low ball hitter, right? You pitch everybody up. Yeah, fastballs.
Woodruff and 0-2. Got him. A strikeout. A changeup from Woodruff. Boy, went with a third pitch right there, and a 3-up, 3-down inning. 2 Ks for Woodruff. Bush by heading to Flannery's in downtown Milwaukee tomorrow at 5 p.m. Rock tomorrow, 5 p.m. You'll be here. It's a Brewers watch party hosted by Craig Kashawn. First 100 fans will receive a pair of tickets to the regular season finale. For details, visit brewers.com/watch party. Craig Kashawn had an exclamation point next to his name.
He's everywhere, isn't he?
Craig Kashawn.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to go tomorrow?
I think Craig put that exclamation point there, actually.
Craig's a lot of fun in those settings. He'll surprise you.
Hey, Craig, I know he's watching.
He's not all buttoned up like he is on Brewers Live. You got to watch him.
Yeah.
All right, Mike Moustakas ready to lead off. 7-4, Brewers have the lead as we play in the 7th inning, and Brandon Woodruff just turning in a very impressive 6th inning. Moustakas pops this one foul.
Yeah, what was impressive, that changeup on a 0-2 pitch, right? I mean, we were just talking about how Woodruff has been using those other off-speed pitches a little bit more. They dropped the changeup on Wong and got him.
No balls and a strike, and inside almost hit him. Brebbia starts his 2nd inning. Got the final 2 outs of the 6th, worked around an error by Wong. Brewers got 2 in the 1st, back-to-back homers, Aguilar and Braun. And then a 4-run 4th inning with the great Bob Uecker on the call. And Christian Yelich with the triple in that inning to drive in 3 of those runs and push him over 100 RBIs. I remember saying in Pittsburgh that, you know, Yelich, who at the time had 93 RBIs, saying, well, you know, he's got an outside chance of driving 100. He needs 7 RBIs. There are 7 games left.
Had a pretty good road trip, right?
I mean, there's still 4 more games in the season, and he's got more at-bats today as Moustakas draws the walk, and the Brewers with a man on and a spot to add on with Jonathan Schoop coming up. What a year. Love to get Yelich at the plate once again with some men on base. There is activity in the bullpen, starting to get down to the bottom of the order now. So Woodruff's spot due up 3rd currently, 4th in the inning, but now 3rd with Schoop at the plate. And depending on how many runs are being scored, that's Knebel up and throwing. That was the guy Counsell was hoping not to use. But this one too important. A win tonight, the Brewers' magic number goes to 1 over St. Louis. No balls, 2 strikes. Schoop fouls it away. Just can't get the barrel to the ball. I mean, that's been the story for Schoop.
Yeah.
He has had moments. He hit a huge home run, a grand slam off Madison Bumgarner. That's one of the biggest home runs of the year. But consistently just hasn't been there.
Yep, allowed the Brewers to sweep the Giants at home. He's just been a little bit caught in between, out in front of the breaking stuff, behind the fastball.
I know the Brewers are hoping, wishing that Schoop can find that groove that led him to the American League Player of the Week right before the trade to Milwaukee at the end of July. He's done a good job. I mean, Schoop's played good defense. He's moved around. He's hit 21 home runs this year. He's on the Powerball home run leaderboard. Schoop has hit 4 home runs as a Brewer. The 1-2. Fly ball right field. Martinez for the first out. Moustakas will retreat.
And some pretty good pitches to hit in that at bat too. I mean, Brebbia got a lot of the plate with a number of those strikes that he threw to Jonathan. Breaking balls he's out in front of, as we mentioned, and you know that last fastball a little behind it.
Here's Manny Pena. He delivered a big hit and an RBI in the 5th inning. Two hits tonight for Pena. The two Brewer catchers have been impressive. You know what to expect behind the plate defensively. Both are outstanding. They get along so well. That's what you love about that relationship between Pena and Kratz. It is very much a partnership, a job share.
Yeah, they work together. They help each other.
They are each in the meetings for the starting pitcher, even when they're not in the starting lineup, preparing for the game plan. And Kratz has swung the bat well. Pena hitting well as well, and he's got 2 tonight, including a key RBI in the 5th.
You got Woodruff in the on-deck circle, but you have Corey Knebel getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. And we'll see what happens here. It might determine whether Woodruff hits or not. They'd like to get another inning out of him, that's for sure.
Pena sends one to left field. Back is Ozuna, and he will make the catch at the track. He just missed it. Moustakas is going to tag. He'll end up at second base. Boy, he missed it by a fraction on the barrel.
And took him to the warning track. Just missed it. A little bit on the label. Just a little behind that pitch. Manny with a pretty good swing at it, just didn't get all of it.
So Woodruff will be pulled back, and the pinch hitter is coming on, Orlando Arcia. So not only will Counsell use the pinch hitter here, he'll tighten up his defense. Great job by Brandon Woodruff again. He'll certainly be available tomorrow. And with a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the 7th inning. Arcia in primarily for the glove, but let's see if he can do some damage with the bat.
Well, and you figure he's going to stay in the game for defense.
Moustakas with a leadoff walk is at second base. Cardinals outfield is deep. He'll score on a base hit to the outfield. No balls and a strike. And a big swing and a foul by Arcia. Batting practice doesn't tell you much, but it was a very impressive showing by Arcia and BP today. Hitting the ball hard, driving the ball to the opposite field, and launching balls into the seats as well.
Optional batting practice today for the Brewers. Didn't have to hit, most did.
See if he can carry it over to the game. Brewers could use a big hit. Up 3. They'd love to add one here in the 7th. Moustakas will be off at the crack of the bat. And the 0-2. Rockies have now jumped ahead 8-1 on the Phillies, and they are still at it in the bottom of the 5th inning. They are just pouring it on in that series. They won 10-1 last night. A Brewer win and a Rockies win means the Rockies jump into the wild card. Cardinals fall out.
That's a scary team right now, Colorado.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Arcia calls timeout.
They can predict that with this guy. He does that all the time. He just stands there waiting to freeze the hitter. Then the hitter calls timeout. What's he done it 3 times now?
They are used to it. They are used to having those late timeouts called. But again, it's all part of the strategy to try to hold that ball up till the moment where you're thinking about a timeout. Tell you where it really works is in a playoff scenario. In a postseason when the crowd's going crazy. 0-2 pitch. Arcia hammers one into left center field, and Bader will run it down. The benefits of playing deep. Bader cuts across to make the catch. Inning is over. We head to the bottom of the 7th in St. Louis. Stretch time. Stadium, second game of this series. Don't forget, Saturday on Fox, it is the Cardinals and the Cubs. The rivalry is renewed. That's at 11:30 a.m. Lynn Casper and John Smoltz with the call on that one. And then we've got Tigers Brewers on FS1. 6 p.m. Central is start time there.
Lenny doing that one, huh?
Lenny's doing the Cardinal Cup game.
Yeah.
And I'll do the Brewers game with Eric Karros on FS1. It's a double header of Fox Baseball.
So what do I get to do?
You get to hang out and mow your grass.
Everybody working. I got to sit around and do nothing.
We needed to get you ready for the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the guy that Craig Counsell wanted to stay away from is on the mound. You see Arcia takes over at short. Perez at second base. Brewers have tightened up defensively, and now Knebel is on to pitch. And facing Greg Garcia to start the inning, the pinch hitter. I'm sure Craig Counsell is nervous about using Knebel, but I'm sure Knebel has passed along. He is good to go, but he has been used a lot.
He's the guy that always wants the baseball no matter what. You figure Knebel in this inning. Soria, then Jeffress. I would imagine that's the plan at this point.
Yep, Knebel has been efficient. He hasn't had a lot of high stress. He's been throwing hard, and a lot of strikeouts he's racked up. Falls behind him 3-0. Well, the walks have just set the Cardinals up all night. The Brewers have been able to get out of a few jams.
Cardinals have only had their leadoff hitter on once. That's the thing about this game. Yeah, that was the 5th.
A 3-0 is in there for a strike. Cardinals have used Wisdom and Garcia off the bench. Their starter Austin Gomber took the first at bat. 9 spot in the order. Carpenter due next. Here's a 3-1 strike. Got the call. Garcia is looking to walk and is not pleased. He is barking at Will Little.
It was more borderline at best. I mean, it wasn't that bad a call. Maybe. Right at the knees.
Now it's full. And a shot back up the middle, base hit. Both pinch hitters for the Cardinals have hits.
I guess he's not so mad now, is he? Rather have a hit in the walk.
For more on Corey Knebel as Matt Carpenter comes up, let's check in with Sophia.
Well, before the game, we were talking to Craig Counsell about his bullpen usage. They did use 9 relievers last night. Corey Knebel, of course, came into the 9th when Jeremy Jeffress was unavailable with the neck spasms. And he said before the game, we certainly need to be careful with Corey. He pitched both Friday and Sunday in the Pittsburgh series, used 21 pitches. Last night, he said Corbin Burns was also falling into that category of a guy who had pitched quite a bit. But he said all things considered, they still felt that they were in good shape because everybody had been rather effective with their innings, including Corey last night. Again, it was 21 pitches for him last night.
Yeah, there's a big difference, right, Sophia, in pitches and high stress pitches. They're all stressful this time of year, but mostly with the bases empty for Knebel.
He really can't afford a long inning, though, here. That's the thing. I mean, you throw 3 out of 4 days, and, you know, the 4th day, you'd like to be able to get a quick inning.
Closed it out last night. And there's a strike to Carpenter. 0-2 the count for Knebel. Knebel saved number 16 last night. He hit Carpenter last night, which brought the tying run to the plate. He just grazed him on the wrist.
He had 2 strikes on him, tried to come inside.
Pena wants a high fastball. Brewers lead by 3. Runner at first, nobody out. And the 0-2. High fastball taken by Carpenter.
Still has the good velocity, 98. Sometimes when you have a little fatigue, it's not always velocity, it's command. Legs get tired, arm drags a little bit.
Carpenter does not hit many ground balls. He elevates often, has not grounded into a double play this year. Knebel misses again, 2-2. It's one of the reasons you've seen the home run surge for Matt Carpenter.
Using that uppercut, and it's working for him.
Kind of changed his persona as a hitter from a guy who could hit 300 every year to a guy who can hit 30 homers every year, but hit 260, 270. 2-2 pitch. Carpenter takes a called strike 3. And he is barking at Will Little.
Man, last couple of nights, the Brewers have gotten the benefit of some borderline pitches, and that was one right there. That ball looked like it might have been up and away. Corey got the call.
He's just been tossed.
Man, that's very good. Doesn't get any better than that. Tossing that guy. Don't have to deal with him again.
Mike Schilt coming in. He might be going with him.
Boy, that is huge, that call. Throwing him out. That's a game changer right there.
Totally is.
Throwing him out.
Carpenter was walking away from the umpire, but he did turn and had a little bit more to say, and I think Will Little was waiting for that last turn, and as soon as he did it, he threw him out, and Schilt's probably going out with him.
Yeah, he's going to go.
There he goes. And he's going to get his money's worth now.
I think Schilt is talking about not just that call. I think that he had some issues with some of the strike calls in last night's ball game. Brewers got the benefit both on the mound and at the plate on some very borderline calls last night.
Ted Barrett, the crew chief, walking the manager away from the scene. Carpenter and Schilt both ejected. Well, what could be a swing moment here as Corey Knebel gets the strikeout.
Check out the pitch. Borderline at best. gets the call, and then the fun begins for the Brewers. That's what got him right there. I'm telling you, that's a break for the Brewers to get that guy out of the game.
Carpenter has reason to be upset, but the Brewers will take that K, and now one away with Martinez coming up. Martinez has been on twice, had a single in the 5th. He walked in the 1st.
Cardinal fans have been hooting about the strike zone 2 games too. That one not as high, but pretty much in the same spot.
One ball, no strikes. Curveball, a shot, base hit. Braun over to cut it off. Garcia is on his way to 3rd. Martinez to 2nd. Throw comes in late. It's a double. 2nd hit of the game for Jose Martinez.
And maybe this time looking for that curveball, got it. Whistles it down the 3rd baseline. Struck out on the curveball last night to end the game from Corey Knebel. That one middle in, and this time Martinez waiting for it. No chance from Moustakas.
And hustles his way into 2nd base with a double. Tying run at the plate now. Paul DeYoung, 1 out. Activity in the Brewers bullpen. And a bouncing ball foul. Well, Knebel's got to be on fumes right here. Joakim Soria. It is not often that the Brewers ask multiple innings out of Soria. It might be tonight. You could do that with Jeffress as well. No balls and a strike. A swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on DeYoung. Well, if there was ever a spot Knebel could use a strikeout, it is right here.
Kidding me. He's right. Then you get a high fastball. Curveball hasn't been real effective tonight.
Second and 3rd, 1 away. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a high fastball. Out number 2 for Knebel. 98 with the gas.
Yep. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 fastballs, and he got him. And now this is going to be a good battle here. Ozuna has been hitting the baseball well all night.
And do you dare consider walking him here, which would be the tying run on base?
Now you don't bring the go-ahead run to the plate. That you don't do.
And they will pitch to Ozuna. Jed Jerko on deck. Garcia, Martinez on the bags. And a fastball misses.
Taylor Williams had him baffled by the slider. Corey doesn't have the slider. It's a fastball or a curveball. If you're going to throw that heater, you better get it up. Get it up in the zone.
Ozuna has 2 at-bats against Knebel. Knebel struck him out. Ozuna with a double. 1 out of 2. Managers pacing. It's been a grind.
We're all pacing, aren't we?
Every out. Second and 3rd, 2 gone. Knebel trying to finish off this Cardinals 7th inning. He deals, and it's a ball. 2-0.
Looks to me like Manny Pena is setting up way off the outside corner there for a curveball. Looks to me like they're not willing to throw a strike to this guy. That was interesting where he set up.
Hit a go-ahead home run last night off Josh Hader. He's been one of the hottest bats going for the Cardinals in the month of September. 3-0.
I'll tell you, this is a gutsy move. It looks like they're going to see if Ozuna's going to chase. If they walk him, okay, and then Jerko comes to the plate. He's got big power.
You got to be careful here. He'll swing 3-0. He's got not just the green light, the neon green light, like his elbow sleeve. He threw him a curveball for a strike on 3-0.
That's where most of his curveballs have been landing, though. That's a dangerous spot for a curveball in like that.
Closed the game last night. Pitching in the 7th here tonight. Reaching back for all he's got. Corey Knebel, 21st pitch of the inning. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and it is up and away, ball 4. They are loaded now.
I think that was the idea all along. They weren't going to intentionally walk him. But a walk, I guess, for Craig Counsell, not the worst thing in the world. But now you bring the go-ahead run to the plate. That's a risky proposition right there.
How much does he have left in the tank? It's a big effort by Knebel.
Yeah, and a guy with 11 homers.
Jerko, probably the single biggest moment of the game for the Brewers on defense was his ground ball double play in the 5th. That was with bases loaded and 1 out and a run in. It ended the inning. He's up there again with the bases loaded. 2 outs this time. And a strike. Fastball in there.
Well, now with the bases loaded, you have to throw strikes. You don't have the ability to try and be too fine on the edges.
Oh, and 2 the count. Jerko has shown he will chase the high fastball. That's been an effective pitch for the Brewers.
And do you dare throw the curveball and risk hanging it?
Man, you're the catcher.
You got to throw that fastball a little bit higher next time.
See if he'll chase another one, huh?
I'm not comfortable with the curveball right here, but we'll see.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Knebel fires an 0-2 and a swing and a high fly ball. Routine Yelich. And Corey Knebel give him a big star tonight. That is a big effort, pitching for the 4th time in 5 days. Strands him loaded, and the Brewers lead by 3. In the last few innings, however, the Brewers have been able to hold serve, and Corey Knebel gets through a key at bat against Jed Jerko. His last 2 times at the plate, Jerko has had the bases loaded, and he's got a double play and a fly ball out to show for it. Terrific effort by Corey Knebel, and Rock, take us through the pitch by pitch from Knebel to Jerko.
Well, again, I mean, it's all fastballs, and Jerko, that was the best pitch he had to swing at. Then he kept going higher and higher, see how high he'd go, and then he got him on the pop-up. That's good pitching by Corey Knebel. You know, the tank is running low, but he gave the Brewers everything he had. Great job by Knebel.
He's going to enjoy a few days off after this one, and it'll be well deserved. Matt Adams has entered the game at first base, and Mike Myers on the mound. I think that is a double switch, but we'll have to wait to hear officially on that. So it'll be Kane, Yelich, and Aguilar coming up. Top of the Brewers order. We're in the 8th inning.
Man, Myers, we saw him in last night's ball game. 3rd of an inning, gave up a run on a couple of hits. Brewers could use a little insurance. That's an understatement.
Now the Cardinals are without Matt Carpenter, and just officially here, that is not a double switch, so a straight up change. With plenty of relievers down there, you wouldn't need to get multiple innings. Adams comes in for the ejected Matt Carpenter. Mike Schilt also ejected, the Cardinal manager. And Kane with a swing and a miss, 2-2 the count. Don't know if that spot will come around again, Matt Carpenter, but no, it will. I beg your pardon. Yep. It'll certainly come around again. That is a big bat not to have to deal with the rest of this game. A called strike 3. Kane is rung up. And there is out number 1. And here comes Yelich. He just keeps on producing, does Yelich. Had a triple in the 4th, drove in 3 runs. A triple with the bases loaded. Part of a 4-run 4th inning for Milwaukee. Gio Gonzalez, the Brewer pitcher, had an RBI single in that inning. And only to be capped off by Yelich.
And another guy coming out of the bullpens throwing 97. I mean, upper 90s. It seems like every one of them that come out of the pen. Yeah, throwing hard.
On the ground, right back to the mound. 2 outs. That's 5 in a row for the Cardinal bullpen.
Well, tonight's time of the game winner, Gaslight West in Greenfield, if they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow. They get 40 tickets to a 2019 Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Here is Jesus Aguilar. Is it just me, or does a 3-run lead here feel like the smallest 3-run lead in the history of baseball? Feels like it could go like that, the way this game has gone.
Well,
but each club has put up zeros, and now Aguilar with a base hit. They put a shift on for him, and he delivers a single to right. How about a 3-hit game for Jesus Aguilar?
Well, how many of the games the Brewers have had in the month of September that have not gone down right to the wire? I mean, how many really? Not many. It has been a fabulous month of September Brewer baseball to be watching this year. That's an incredible at bat right there. Fastball away, just kind of serves it out there into center field. Almost hits Mark Carlson, the second base umpire. Would you want it any other way? You don't want a 10-0 lead, do you?
I'd be all right with it.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
And Braun takes the ball up and in. It does set the drama. The Brewers have actually had 3 blowout wins in the last week and a half. Remember the last game of the series against the Reds? They had 2 in that series. Game 1 and Game 3, where they were able to rest their bullpen. That was part of the reason the bullpen day yesterday worked out. Here's Braun. He rips one deep left center field. This is going to fly. Ryan Braun with a 2-run blast. 9-4 Milwaukee. And Ryan Braun has done it again. 2 home runs tonight. He homered last night. And number 8 is getting hot just at the right time.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, that was hammered. 2 outs, nobody on, single homer. And that's going to quiet this crowd here in St. Louis. What a huge home run for Ryan Braun.
Look at the manager's reaction. Counsell, that was a huge blast. Such an important score for the Brewers. Now they go up 5. Now they can step off the gas just a little if they want. Ryan Braun, vintage right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, that's throwback 2011 MVP Ryan Braun.
Yep, 2 home runs tonight. He's hit the ball hard 4 times.
31st career multi-homer game. It's the 3rd of the season for Braun, where he's hit 2 homers in a game. Now Perez bounces to Adams, and he bobbles. Perez will reach.
That could be a hit. That could have been an interesting play. Perez runs well. And we'll see how they score. They're ready to give him an error. E3.
Pitching change. Going with a lefty, Cecil. Ryan Braun, with 2 outs in this 8th inning, has given the Brewers a 5-run lead. He is back, and he looks like he's back. He's got that swagger again. He's been holding back the ponies all year with days off and regular rest, but Ryan Braun is on a tear right now. 2 home runs tonight. 9-4 Brewers here in the 8th. Moustakas coming up against the left-hander Brett Cecil.
Yeah, Cecil having a rough time of it this year. You see that earned run average over 6. 40th game for Cecil, facing Mike Moustakas with 2 outs.
Nine runs on the board. 8 of the 9 coming with 2 outs. Moustakas pops it up. The young will put it away, and the inning is over. The great 8, he's back in a big way, looking like his old self. When the game is at its highest pressure, Braun has always delivered. And he's delivering big time in this series. His third home run makes it 9-4 Milwaukee as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. All right, Dario, thanks. Brewers have been able to stretch it out here. That has the manager a little more at ease. Still 6 outs to get. Joakim Soria on the mound for the Brewers. Ryan Braun giving the Brewers a 5-run lead.
Yeah, Soria looked good last night in the 8th inning. He was throwing about as hard as we've seen him throw last night. 95 on a couple of occasions.
I see Keon Broxton enters the game in right field with Yelich moving over to left field. Travis Shaw takes over for Aguilar at first as well as Molina sends one to center, and Lorenzo Cain right there, out number 1. Now, if you had to zero in on 2 at-bats by the Cardinals here tonight, it would be the Jet Jerko at-bats. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 5th. Bounced into a double play to win the inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 7th. Skies to right to Yelich to end the inning.
I don't know, that the young strikeout with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. That was a biggie as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to recommend from this one tonight. Yeah, there's a big swing by Bader.
Yeah, but you're right. Jet Jerko was in a position to really cash in tonight.
Brewers score 8 runs combined in 3 different innings tonight when there were 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, no kidding. That's amazing.
In the 1st, in the 4th, in the 8th. Little half swing, and that's going to bounce. Arcia. Oh my goodness! Wow. What a play! Orlando Arcia. A one-hop barehanded pickup.
Yeah, that guy is unbelievable. What a play. I thought that play was over with once it got by Perez. Right behind him, you couldn't even see him pick up the baseball, and he throws out Bader, who one of the fastest guys in the league right here. There he is. And look at the throw to get him.
Oh, my gosh. That's up there, best of the year candidate for.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
For Arcia. Something special.
I don't even think Perez saw it. He was running in front of him, heading toward left field.
2 quick outs. I mean, he may have had his struggles at the plate, but he is a game changer defensively. And this has been the formula for Craig Counsell. Get a lead, get the defense in. Ground ball third base. Moustakas. 1-2-3 inning for Joakim Soria. Makes it look easy. 9-4. To the ninth we go. Orlando Arcia in the home of the Wizard. Ozzie Smith pulls a little wizardry himself. Home runs tonight, driven in 3 runs. Jesus Aguilar has 3 hits, including a home run. He and Braun went back-to-back in the first. Christian Yelich a 3 RBI triple. Even Gio Gonzalez had an RBI tonight, the pitcher. Travis Shaw will bat for the first time. Well, Joakim Soria gave the Cardinals no chance in the 8th. 3 up and 3 down, couple of ground outs, and a magical play by Orlando Arcia. A win tonight for Milwaukee. The magic number is 1 over the Cardinals. Would go to 2 over the Rockies. Unless the Rockies lose their game. They're up big right now, but if they did lose that game, it could be 1 on Colorado as well.
And losing.
Looking ahead, the Brewers would get within a half a game of the Chicago Cubs. They would match the Cubs in the win column, barring a Cubs comeback. That is 6-0. Report from Wrigley Field is that the Cubs fans are not pleased, and they are booing the Cubs right now. I'll tell you, the Pirates, though, Brewers know all too well that is a pitching staff worth concerning yourself with.
Right. Brewers able to get 2 out of 3 in Pittsburgh over the weekend.
Tyone last night pitched a gem for the Pirates. Chris Archer has 6 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts tonight. Two and 2 to Travis Shaw. Right off the end of the bat. Slow roller, got a chance. Shaw hustling and out. He slid feet first. And that, I think that allowed the throw to get there. That was a nice play by Cecil off the mound.
Well, they say you get there a lot quicker just running through the bag. There's a nice flip out of the glove. Pretty close.
And no challenge here for Craig Counsell. You know, maybe Shaw's trying to avoid a tag. That's the only reason you slide. Normally it's a head first slide, but Good play by Cecil. One away in the 9th inning. Cardinals are at the bottom of their order to start the bottom of the 9th. 9-1-2. Remember, Carpenter ejected. Matt Adams will hit in that spot in the 9th. And Jeremy Jeffress, even though it is not a save situation, again, this is a need for work for Jeffress. He's hardly pitched.
Sight for sore eyes with that neck issue, and good to have him back out there in the bullpen, and Brewers need him going forward.
Went down to the clubhouse after the game last night, and the mood was not as positive. With neck injuries, you just don't know, and Craig Counsell was concerned it might be a while, it might be a few days even. Then you show up to the ballpark today, Jeffress comes back, says, I feel good. I'm ready to go. Relievers have a full session before batting practice where they will go out into the outfield, they will throw, and that's kind of a marker to let the bullpen coach know or the manager know where they are. Scale of 1 to 10, are you at your strongest? Are you ready? Are you available? Are you tight? Is there soreness? So that's kind of how you test all that, and I guess once that went down, Jeffress was a double thumbs up. So
yep, and you rely on your guys that are out there doing that to be honest with you. And I think for the most part you can say that the Brewers relievers do that. They tell Counts, I'm good, nope, I need a day.
Manny Pena pops it up. Matt Adams under it. 2 gone in the inning. And that brings up Arcia. And looking at that Pirates-Cubs series, that's a 4-game series, remember. Doesn't get any easier tomorrow for the Cubs. They got Ivan Nova to deal with tomorrow against Jose Quintana, and then the Thursday game at Wrigley is a night game. Trevor Williams is pitching for the Pirates in that one.
It's a heck of a pitching staff.
Williams against John Lester on Thursday. The Brewers will be off Thursday, and once that game is completed, then there's 3 days left, 3 games left for each team. Arcia with a base hit to right. Shoots one into the gap, and he's on his way to second base. Throw comes in from Bader. It is late. Arcia's in there with a double.
Oh, I love that. That is a nice stroke right there. A bullet into the gap out there. Man, only the good speed of Harrison Bader made that one close at second base. Yeah, breaking pitch, it stayed up, and Arcia didn't try and pull it. Well, he's got to do more of that. That's what he was doing last year. Taking that pitch and ripping it into the gap. Bader with his good speed able to make it close at second base.
So Arcia, a late ad, a pinch hitter in the 7th. He's 1 for 2. He's made a spectacular play at the shortstop position. They're going to walk Kane. Well, it feels like there is a day coming soon when there will be no more walking of batters to get to Yelich.
I'm surprised he did it this time.
Yelich hits lefties well, and he is launching one deep to center field. Bader going back at the wall. This one is up, and it is gone. Christian Yelich with a 3-run home run. Number 33. How about a 6 RBI game for the MVP of the National League?
Yeah, no kidding. All right, the Brewers put a lid on this one tonight. First pitch from Cecil. They walk Kane to pitch to Yelich, who hits over 320 against lefties. When will they learn? My goodness.
104 runs batted in for the season, 6 of them tonight. What a scene in that Brewers dugout. That's where the big boys hit him out there on a night like this. Now Broxton, his first at bat, and a high throw into the Cardinal dugout, off the dugout actually, and the inning will continue.
And 3 errors now for the Cardinals. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Christian Yelich.
The 6 RBIs is a career high.
There it is. Breaking ball right down the middle, up in the zone, and Christian gets a good whack at it. Out there in center field, and put the icing on the cake here. That's the uppercut that the Brewers are looking for tonight. 15 hits for the Brewers.
12 for Brew Crew.
Should I say it again? The inning started with 2 outs and nobody on.
There you go.
4 times tonight.
So 8, 9, 11 runs tonight have been scored in innings where there have been 2 outs and nobody on. Christian Yelich. This has been something to behold.
Yeah, just very fortunate to be able to be out here every night and watch that guy go to work. Watch this whole team go to work.
A player in his prime, performing when it counts the most. And he hit his way into MVP discussion, then it was MVP front runner, and now it's MVP. There's no doubt.
No.
There is no doubt. When it matters the most in a pennant race in September. All smiles in the Brewers dugout. Saladino announced as a pinch hitter, and another pitching change for the Cardinals. A magical season with the Milwaukee Brewers. Up there with some of the greatest seasons ever accomplished by Brewer hitters, and Christian Yelich making a very strong case for an MVP award. It would be the first since that guy, Ryan Braun, won one in 11, and he might have just solidified one with his night tonight. So it's Giovanni Gallegos who is on to face Saladino, and on the first pitch, a fly ball to right. And that will retire the side. But the Brewers with 5 runs in the last 2 innings, and the last 3 more with 2 out. Walk Kane to get to him. First pitch, center field, 3-run homer. 6 RBIs for Christian Yelich.
on him, but what a year. Swinging a drive to the gap in right center. It's going to get all the way to the wall. 3 are going to score, and Yelich digging for third. The throw, he's in there with a 3-bagger. Wow.
Amazing,
in the
isn't
gap.
it? Wow is right. Mr. Baseball called that one, and then the 9th inning, the 3-run blast by Yelich, capping off a 6 RBI night. Triple, homer. What a year.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a year for Yelich. It's been an incredible year for the Brewers. They're putting together a very good month of September. Yet another series win with 3 outs here in the 9th.
33 homers, 104 RBIs. League's leading hitter. Jacob Barnes will pitch. First ball swinging is Edmundo Sosa. So they had Jeremy Jeffress up throwing, and Jeffress sat down after the 3-run home run by Yelich. It is Jacob Barnes to try to take it the rest of the way. Facing the 22-year-old from Panama. Just made his major league debut Sunday. Edmundo Sosa.
And Jacob Barnes like to put together a 3-up, 3-down inning to eliminate any suspense here. 48th appearance. He's got a couple of saves on the year. He got those early in the season.
A strikeout for Barnes, out number 1.
Looking at Craig Counsell, you would never know if the Brewers are winning or losing.
Still
He's got
grinding.
that same look on his face.
Slow roller by Adams. Shaw will flip it to Barnes. 2 quick outs here in the 9th inning. Well, we're doing it a little bit early tomorrow. So 5:30 is airtime tomorrow night. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Final game of the series. Yoli Chacin against John Gant, who has been excellent for the Cardinals as well. Brewers are an out away from winning 10 of their last 11 series.
That stretch began after a series loss to the Cardinals back in mid-August.
Ryan Braun with 2 homers. So there's Stephen Vogt right there. I think we might have to keep his old man along for the ride. Randy, he's been on this road trip hanging out with the Brewers this week. Randy Vogt, and things are going pretty well. Can't go home now.
No. Whatever you did today, do the same thing tomorrow.
That's right.
That's the old baseball adage.
Tell you, the Brewers put themselves in a position to clinch a playoff berth tomorrow. They could pop champagne in St. Louis tomorrow.
Pretty good guy on the mound to do it too. Chacin.
Brewers erupting tonight. 12 runs on 15 hits. It was 6-0, and then the Cardinals got a 3-run homer from Molina. Cardinals at one point in the 5th inning had the go-ahead run at the plate. They put the go-ahead run at the plate with Jerko, that man at the plate. Jacob Barnes, 2-2 pitch, misses down and away. Brewers trying to make it back-to-back nights with Jose Martinez as the final out. You start clicking them off as you go. You try to secure the postseason. Then you secure home field in the wild card. Then you look at the division race, and the Brewers are game on in all 3.
Yeah. Pittsburgh still with a 6-0 lead at Wrigley Field. Great Council already thinking about tomorrow.
That game is in the top of the 8th at Wrigley. A strike away, Barnes deals, and a drive into center field. Kane on the run, and Lorenzo is there. And that's the ball game. What a game for the Brewers. What a performance. Tack on runs. All those runs with 2 outs. 11 of the 12 coming with 2 outs and nobody on. And just a complete team performance tonight. And the Brewers win yet another series.
Another great job by the bullpen. I mean,